live on a Sunday. Trying to get my hours in. If anybody's bored and they want to hop on, be my guest. Put the link in the chat. Let's see. Let me pin this. Let me make sure I'm live on Twitter. Let's see. Where am I? Turn off this reminder. Did I get any calls or text messages? All right, so and let me put the link of the YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, so if you guys want to hop on, talk your shit on a Sunday, help me get these hours in. I appreciate it. I'm just going through the motions. Right. Let's see. We can pin this one. Pin. All right. Guess there's some things to talk about from over the weekend, over from Saturday, some fights. Um, and then I feel like we talked about Tank and your boy enough, so it's not like I'm really excited about that fight. Hi, Danny. How you doing? Yeah, tonight. Your Sunday. How's your Sunday doing? Um, Let me see. You guys don't want to miss NVO uncensored spaces that'll be coming up because, uh, yeah, I gotta do some things. Where did I put the thing? Oh my god. Um, Danny, you wanna hop on? Y'all be so scared to hop on these lives, but on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, y'all talk a lot of stuff in the comments. Um, Let me fix me a drink. I'm tripping. Hold on, guys. who do you think gonna be his first next? I don't know. Uh, shit. We all want him to fight Canelo, but we know that's not gonna happen. I think I want him to fight Caleb Plant. That'd be a good one. Um, who do you think he's fighting next? Antonio. Um, just waiting for some people to come in that get up here and chat because I don't chat with myself. Let's see. Mm, see a couple of arguments going on Twitter. I'm gonna stay out of that. Let's see. Um, just so I can see with my glasses on. Well, what do you guys think about the Benavidez fight last night? I mean, everybody feels like Lemieux is kind of like just another body out there, so it wasn't really like a win to gloat about. But you know, Benavidez got him out of there like he should have, so you know, no surprise. Drinking liquor and drinking my water. So I won't look like a chupacabra. Um, I'm just waiting for some more people to come in here. Let me see if Julius is up because he'll come on here and talk boxing or whatever. Because a lot of people are scared to come up here, and I'm not gonna talk. I need some hours, and I'm not gonna sit up here and talk to myself. So copy to clipboard, 10 messages. Um, let me see. Um, wish happy birthday to my sister. Her birthday was yesterday. Just another happy birthday to my sister Karen. She's a pain in the butt, but I still love her. um, let's see. Okay. You would love to see benefits. Yeah, me too. But we already know that's not. Well, maybe it could happen. I don't think that. I don't think Plant has another fight in line. Or maybe Darrell, the Darrell brother. Maybe so. He either has to fight Benavidez or Darrell. One of those two. Hello, knock, knock, or knock, Flores. Uh, Flores. Streets needing like a rolling into me for. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, sir. Yeah, I don't know about that, but it'll be interesting to be honest. If I'm being honest, it'll be interesting, but plans won't fight Benavidez. Yeah, after seeing him fight Canelo and the way he was copping pleas in the ring, I don't think he would fight Benavidez. So I'm gonna co-sign that for this. Benavidez is coming back in November, and Samson listed Plant, Morel, Charlo as options for that date. Which would you prefer? Um, Plant or Charlo? Either one of those three. I wouldn't be mad, but I really want to see Plant, like see how he bounced back after that Canelo loss. So, but then you know what? I don't know if it's the best for him to go with a Benavidez after a loss. That's it's going to like the higher ups. So, oh, sure for Nacho. So Nach Flores. Okay. Well, I've been good. Can't complain. So you know, like checkmate.
Well, well, well,
How you
baby
doing?
bird. Yeah,
How you
you
doing?
didn't respond back to my bet offer. What's up? I'm trying to get in
Oh,
on
what you?
pockets.
Oh, yeah. See, but I'm. You know what? If that might happen, you know what? I will put money on it. I don't really bet like with people. I like go on the websites and bet, but for you because you talk a lot of shit and you do a lot of the videos and so you do the most. So you know what? I would love to take your money. I would really love to take your money.
Yeah, I do videos and stuff like that, but no, it's a friendly wager. You know what I
No, no,
mean?
no, no, yeah, yeah, no. I'm saying, but that's why I would love to take your money because when you talk shit, you do the most like me. Like you really go in.
Yeah, yeah,
So it
it's
would
all in
be
fun
very
though.
satisfying to take your coin.
But yeah, and I will take it, and I won't even listen. I won't have any emotions when I take your money. You know what I'm
That ain't
saying?
gonna happen though. That ain't
And
gonna happen.
I'll take your money and buy some honey with your money that I win from you. And
I don't think
I
that's
don't
gonna
even eat
happen.
honey, but I will buy it
The
with your
that's
money.
not gonna happen. So it's all right.
Ah. So you really think? Well, obviously you do think, but I would like to know why do you think Canelo would beat Benavidez?
um, even though Benavidez beats let me add Julius. Hey Julius, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
This is a surprise on a Sunday. What's going
I
on?
I
know,
know,
right? I
right?
need to get some hours in, yo.
That's
I
what's
I
up.
need
told
to
you
get
how
my
to do
hours
it.
in. I know.
You,
And I'm off
I'll be
I'm
giving
off
you.
I'm off on Mondays now, so
Oh,
it's
that's
it's
good.
so now I can like, I could do a Sunday if I wanted to and not really,
Oh, yeah, that's
end up
good.
dragging on
Okay.
a Monday. But I
What's
was
up, my
telling
brother
Checkmate,
Jules? You sounding better, sir.
Thank you, Check. I feel better, man. I told
that's
you.
good.
I think I said the other day. Once that COVID sometimes get in on you, man, you feel like you'll never recover from it.
Mm. Well, knock on wood. I haven't had the flu since the last time I took a flu shot. And we're talking about something over 20 years ago. I don't get sick. I'm a knock on. I don't have any. Let me knock on wood. You know what I mean? But
Right.
so hopefully, I don't know, because all of this stuff, our immune system come in contact. You come in contact with somebody with the flu virus every time you go in the market. You go to Walmart, come in contact with that environment.
So you gotta
Sometimes
keep
our
your hand
immune system fight it
sanitized and
off.
stuff like that.
Sometimes it don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
But
I was telling Checkmate that he was asking me why do I think that Canelo would beat Benavidez, and even though Benavidez, you know, put a whooping on Lemieux last night,
Mm-hmm.
I still saw holes that Canelo could like. I'm sorry, Canelo would beat. In my opinion, he would beat Benavidez. He would really tear Benavidez' body apart. Um, he really would. I'm telling you,
okay,
I
okay.
like even though I don't know if y'all broke down that fight last night. He didn't really do what I thought he was like. He won, but it wasn't like in the fashion that I thought. Like Lemieux
You
was
you
not.
last night, I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, I think that David Benavidez tried different things.
Well,
Like
maybe
it
that was
was,
it because what I saw last
yeah,
night was
because
not what I
you
think
was
would beat
expecting him just
Canelo.
to walk him down and beat him up, but actually he counterpunched last night. He stayed on the outside. He used his jab because he knows that when he fight Charlo, um, Canelo, whoever, he gonna need to be able to do more than just march a person down. You get what I'm saying? He gonna have to be able to do different things. So last night, because people forget, David Benavidez didn't have an amateur career. So a lot of things that David Benavidez is learning, he's learning them now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And he
and you can't be
trying different
trying
things.
to. You can't be doing that while you're in the ring with Canelo.
Well,
Just
well,
saying.
no, that's why you do it against David Lemieux.
Yeah. But that's
So,
what I'm saying. Like, if he was to go in the ring next with Canelo and he's still working on
well,
things,
he gonna. I think what's next for him is gonna be a fight that I just look forward to, and that's the one that
Plant.
Sampson said, and that's against Plant. And that's the one I'm looking forward to it, man, because I hear everything you said about Canelo, but this is one time where I need David to just fight, plant, and bring that boy home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's real animosity there and stuff. So
Oh, it's definitely animosity. You know,
so I think even if he had a game plan going in, he'll.
Yeah, he gonna scrap that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a brawl for him, you know.
Yeah,
So,
but I thought he looked good last night. Because he did different things. He didn't get hit really, and that's good because any fighter like Benavidez, they got a shelf life because he a face first fighter. So you don't see those guys lasting into their 30s and late 30s. Like Manny Pacquiao is something that normally don't happen. So he did what he supposed to did last night. Get in a ring.
But do you think what that Benavidez that was in the ring last night is the one that will beat Canelo, like that version?
I do. Let me tell you why.
I know checkmate. So, okay, so tell me why. Tell me why.
Listen, baby, but listen. I'm telling you, I make a lot of smart predictions. I make predictions people don't expect, and I win. I win a lot of money betting on these fights. You know. So as Julius know, I've been preaching Benavidez for a minute. I told everybody he's one of my favorite fighters. You know, and I've always believed he was the best at 168 for the last few years, even before Canelo even got to 168. It's first of all, his size, his hand speed, okay. He can take a punch, so his toughness, his durability, also his he doesn't get tired, so you know what I mean. He definitely have endurance. Now, only thing that I don't like, I say about David Benavidez is he squares up a lot. His foot plant, when he plants his feet, sometimes he plants them square, like right next to each other, which leaves him off balance. And that time he got knocked down, that was because he was just squared. And you know what I mean? When you don't plant your feet, you're not going to have that great balance. That's the only thing that I say. Other than that, I think he's again when it comes to Bivol, he's faster than Bivol. You know what I mean? His combinations. Bivol has the better.
Well, see, that's what I was saying, checkmate. Is the thing about David Benavidez is he started boxing at 12, 13 years old because he was a fat boy. And his amateur career was basically him sparring hundreds of rounds against Triple G and all different types of fighter, Manny Pacquiao, when he was a teenager. And so that was basically his amateur career. For the next 3, 4, 5 years, it was him doing hardcore, sparring and getting ready in Big Bear. And he learned a lot. He's a chameleon type fighter. The squaring up part, I don't like when he fight tall either, unless he's using a jab like he did last night. But I'll say this, I think that he probably needs to wait about 12 months to fight Canelo. Allow Canelo to keep doing what he's doing. No, seriously. Allow Canelo to keep fighting everybody and let Benavidez continue to fight who he fight. And as long as he wins, the thing that's going to happen eventually, if he wait Canelo out, is that Canelo been in a lot of wars and he'll end up beating Canelo off that. Right now, I would lean towards Canelo winning a decision, but if you keep waiting like Canelo has been doing, Canelo is the only reason this fight ain't happened because he want to fight everybody else. I say he want to fight everybody else.
I actually asked David Benavidez when I was on the Boxing Voice. I asked him straight up. I was like, "Do you think that Canelo is ducking you?" I said, and he told me no.
Oh, I don't think he ducked him.
I said, I'm just saying that for the fans out there, for the fans who always saying, that Canelo's ducking Benavidez. I asked Benavidez myself, and he said out of his own mouth that he doesn't think that Canelo's ducking him. He said that's part of the business and that he has all the fights, but he doesn't think that Canelo is ducking him, is what he said.
Well, that's what he's saying now because he's being politically correct. Why? Because a lot of the Latinos, the Mexicans especially, were getting on his ass when he was calling Canelo a ducker. He called him a bitch before. He said he used to say all these things. You know, he's called
I
him a
don't think
coward.
I don't think Benavidez bites his tongue. Look at
No, no, but
the stuff that he said after
I got
the
the
food
tape,
fight
but
yesterday.
I got the vid. I'm telling you right now, his demeanor has changed the last year. The reason why his demeanor has changed, as I mentioned, is because he was getting a lot of flack from Mexico. Remember when he was speaking in Spanish, he was like La Raza, right? And they asked him to translate. Oh, so what did you say? Oh, I just said hello to my people in Phoenix. I knew what exactly who he was saying. You know what I mean? The Mexican races, you know what I mean? Superior, all that. He was saying all of that stuff, but when he actually translated to English, he gave it a mild version. So he's doing his best to regain that Mexican audience. So him calling out Canelo in a negative manner, he's going to split that audience, and he does not want to do that. So that's the reason why he and his father, they came up with a game plan. I think it's a good game plan because he's affected by that, and he was affected by it. He's mentioned that many times. So like I said, I could show you videos, several of them, and going back a couple years ago. You know I got him.
You know I got him. Told me.
Well, of course he's going to say that he's being politically correct right now. But I just wanted to say this. I'm point this out. Like I said, you guys,
I feel like
Julius,
you need to have the same energy. If you're gonna say somebody,
he's not going to.
Don't
listen.
Don't,
he lives in Little Mexico. He lives in Arizona. He lives in Little Mexico. Okay, listen. He lives. So think about that. You're surrounded by Mexicans, and then you're going to call a Mexican god a coward. He got to face it every time he go to the supermarket. He don't want to deal with that. So he changed his tune. You know what I mean? And then remember, because Canelo was saying, "Oh, I'll never fight Mexicans." Remember Canelo was saying that? And when Canelo said, "Oh, I'll never fight a Mexican. I can't fight David Benavidez because I'll never fight a Mexican," and that's when David Benavidez would call him a coward and all this other stuff.
No, David Benavidez also said, "Well, I'm Honduran."
Well, yeah,
remember,
he
said that because his mother is. So right. He said that I'm from Honduras. So you're not fighting a Mexican.
Well, that's the reason why he don't even talk about Honduran anymore. He only calls himself a Mexican now. I understand
that's
marketing.
That's true.
I'm not complaining about it. Listen, Mango Mommy, you're a Dominican. you can be Dominican one day and Puerto Rican the next. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. You understand? So
I'm both every day. So.
Absolutely. So you're not wrong. You're not even wrong. So my thing is this, though. Both of you and Julius think that Canelo beats Benavidez. And I already said I want to take your money, baby bird. And Julius, my brother, you know you're my brother. You know my brother, but I'm gonna have to go in your pockets too, buddy. Y'all both of y'all picking Canelo. We're gonna have to make some friendly
I got if they fight today, I would pick Canelo by split decision. But I said, and I stick to this. The longer he waits on David Benavidez for whatever reason, whether he want to fight Bivol, whether he want to fight this guy, that guy, I think that David Benavidez is moving in a momentum. He's 25. He's in his prime. Canelo's not in his prime, and that's the problem. Is Canelo going to fall off in the next 12 months? Huh?
Canelo said he's in his prime. Canelo's 31. He says he's in his prime.
Yeah, he ain't in his prime anymore.
Right,
now I'm talking about in Julius' opinion of watching Canelo career since he was fighting at 147 on the Mayweather card all them 10 years ago. This guy, now the steroid talk gonna start. Yeah. There's no way. On God green earth, all them wars with Triple G, those Laura fight, the Trout fights, is a guy gonna still be in his prime after having a bad knee and in his 30s? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Canelo could be realistic when, I know he want to say those things publicly, but let's be honest, just us talking. He can't be in his prime no more. It can't.
But that's what I'm saying. So why do you think you feel like he's not in his prime? Why do you think he beats Benavidez?
Because I think Benavidez, as much as I like him, he'll be able to knock out Caleb Plant. He'll be able to, I think, beat David Morrell in a fight, because I think that David Morrell is gonna struggle with that pressure. And people talk like, well, David Morrell is a super fighter from Cuba. Yeah, I like him, but I also like the way that you beat most Cuban fighters. You beat them with pressure. You don't have to outbox him. You just beat him with pressure because he ain't been that 12-round distance with no horse like Benavidez coming down the stretch on him. You know what I'm saying? Round 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think he'll beat him. But I think that Canelo is a smart enough fighter that he'll use Benavidez against himself with that pressure and let him come and fall right into different combinations. But all of that is contingent on them fighting right now, not 12 months from now. 12 months from now, Canelo game is not even going to be as strong as now.
So you
But
think
listen,
Canelo has a 12-month
yes. You don't think so?
After the 12 months, it's a no-go.
It's a no-go. He better leave David Benavidez alone. And he better.
That's fair.
That's my opinion. I think Canelo is crafty enough, and also, judges give him a good benefit of the doubt. I feel that he'll beat Benavidez today. But 12 months from now, 12 months from now, Canelo got another 1 or 2 fights on his belt. Now he get beat by Benavidez then.
okay, but Benavidez is bigger, faster, and stronger.
He's definitely got faster hands.
Well, no, you didn't hear what I said. I said Bivol. I said Benavidez is bigger, faster, and stronger with faster combinations than Bivol, more aggressive than Bivol, and Bivol shellacked him 10-2. So Bivol is 6 feet. David Benavidez is 6'3". We all know he used to fight at heavyweight. We all know he can carry the weight. We all know he has better power than Bivol. Bivol only has 11 KOs. Okay, Bivol's a strong punch because he's a natural 175, but David Benavidez is a natural 200. Okay, so if I'm looking at that and I'm seeing
so you think that Benavidez would have the same speed at that weight too?
I think
Benavidez. Wait. What'd you say? Wait.
And Bivol's weight, because I said you think that
at 75. That's 7 pounds. Seven. We're talking about 7 pounds.
Weight slows you down.
Well, listen, but check this out. Hasn't he missed weight? Didn't Benavidez lose his belt on the scales?
I was hiding.
Absolutely.
His belt.
Right. So think about how comfortable he would be at 175. Think about how comfortable he would be. So imagine
he was laxing off. That's why he lost.
Again, he's a naturally bigger. He's bigger, faster, and stronger than Bivol. These are my reasons for him beating Canelo, because Canelo is not that fast, you guys. I don't know. Canelo right now, Canelo is this tree trunk swinging, cutting down a tree every time he swings with all his might.
Say that in whatever he's doing,
but that's what he does. well, it worked against people who are not confident in their own abilities, like Plant, who's talking to him in the middle of the ring in the 9th round. Hey, am I doing good? It doesn't work to people who are intimidated by him. But also look at this. I
feel like Plant went in there with enough confidence, but once he started feeling those body shots and he was breaking down, then the confidence went out the window. He started copping please because his body was starting to break down. I don't think he went in there like not confident with his ability. I really feel the way he was talking, before the fight, he was more than confident that he was going to beat Canelo.
Okay, well, the confidence verbally, yes, but when he got in there, you can see that he was trying Floyd style. He was trying to shoulder roll without the shoulder. He was trying all these things. And when he was doing the shoulder roll, he was leaving his body wide open. What Canelo did every single time Canelo got him against rope, what did he do?
He hit him in the rib cage.
And guess what? Did he ever? And he offered up that. He was trying to do the hard card. Like, that's not how you do that. And you got to offer some resistance. So to me, remember, he only had 20 fights. So he's very green. I think he has a lot of gifts and abilities, you know what I mean? But he's still growing into who he's going to be. I think Plant is not going to be who he is. It's probably going to be about 6 fights from now because I see the natural ability, but I see that I know, Julie, I know, but I see that he hasn't put it all together. Julie about to blow up. Listen, but he
not like this guy like that.
But he was trying too many different styles, and you could see that it wasn't working. It was like when Teofimo was trying to do the shoulder roll. Listen, if you can't just mimic someone, it has to be muscle memory. You can't just try something in the camp and say, I'm gonna do this because this person do it. Everybody in the world saw that he was leaving his bodies open. And naturally, and every time he punched him, right, all you heard was, Canelo was, naturally, it's the plea. And even his corner said you can't keep giving them free shots. What's going on, Mike? And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna land this plane. But you gotta look at it. I had Plant and Billy Joe Saunders ahead at the time of their stoppages. So if I had them ahead at the time of their stoppages, because what they did in the early parts of the fights, naturally David Benavidez is better than both of them, and I just don't see it being competitive. I see David
What's up, Boxiana?
I see David Benavidez beating Canelo worse than Bibble did. Hey, Boxiana, what's up, country girl?
I think her show coming on
why don't you ever jump on here, Boxy, and let us hear that little country twang?
She's actually doing her show with Lamika and.
But she can still jump on here and say hi, y'all.
No, they're about to go live now. They're about to go live now. I know, but she said she still came by and said hi, but they're about to go live now. I just hopped on tonight because I need the hours, man. And I don't have no.
I was shocked. I was like, huh?
Run them hours up. Run them up.
I'm trying. So yeah, y'all can go ahead and check her out.
But you know, Nika, I wanted to say something. This ain't a subject. I don't know if y'all jumped on it yet, but I gotta throw something out there about Chris Colbert, man.
Oh,
you know, that was,
I don't like him. I don't like that dude. I don't like him.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something, Nika. I'm gonna tell you, Check and Mike. My problem and issue with this guy is I don't think there's nothing wrong with a black man that want to be Hispanic or anything like that.
I do.
But no. Hear me out. It's definitely nothing that I do. I enjoy being, you know what I'm saying, a black American. But I'm saying this guy is one of those guys that just put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. You know what I'm saying?
He is half Hispanic, right? Because I looked him up one time.
He has Mexican for real.
He has Mexican, yeah. One of his parents is half Mexican or something like that.
Okay, all right. Yeah. But let me say this, though.
That's why I can't say too much because one of his parents is half Mexican.
Okay, I didn't know that, but I know that he's a guy that's not very likable. He's not a very likable guy. He's also not a good fighter.
Nah.
But he thinks
be talking shit the way he do. Like,
he talk like you talking about somebody being a killer, Nika, that you be talking about. This guy talk like he's a sniper, a serial killer. Man. You know what I'm saying? As Checkmate be making Checkmate. Where's the box, the cereal box that you be making with guys' faces on it? Put one out.
The milk carton. Yeah, the milk carton.
The milk carton. We need one for Chris Colbert, and hopefully we find him out in the middle of the woods somewhere because I don't want to see him no more, man. And I'm glad Jamel said something to him.
He talks his shit and then he disappears because he didn't hop back. I haven't seen him hop back on unless you guys.
No, he ain't.
He didn't hop back on. So he threw that little.
He got embarrassed
and then he disappeared.
He got embarrassed.
No, if you talk shit like that, you need to stand on it. You say
definitely.
You need to stand.
Don't
disappear. Don't disappear.
And he could call for a fight with Jamel. They're in the same weight class. They both from New York. It's an easy sell. Let me tell you this. Al Heyman has worked with Jamel Herring for years. That would be a fight that Bob Arum wouldn't have no problem allowing Jamel to get out of his contract to go fight Chris Colbert. That's all he got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Jamel retired now, so
Jamel will come out of retirement.
He'll come out for him.
He'll come out of retirement to fight Mr. Mantees, man.
I hope Jamel come out and beat his ass, man.
Yeah, come out for him.
We need him to come back out for him. If that
Yeah, come out for him. Yes.
He needs to come back out for him for sure.
Yes.
that'd be
Yeah.
the extra
Yo,
motivation,
He's a
right?
Carol if I ever saw one.
I'd be ashamed of some people, bro. Like, damn, son, you from Brooklyn? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, you definitely gotta take that L. He's from Brooklyn.
No.
You gotta take that L. Brooklyn.
And he did this. He did that on Biggie's birthday. That's the other thing.
Yo, come on, man. Nah.
He did it on Biggie's birthday, man.
Damn, bro.
Jamel had some comebacks though. Jamel had some cool comebacks. Listen,
I knew once Jamel saw that tweet that he was gonna flame him. And he did. But all of Twitter, boxing Twitter flamed him. So he didn't have to say anything. He didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
All of boxing Twitter hopped on his ass, rightfully so. But he disappeared. He said what he had to say and he disappeared.
He need to stay. He need to go sell that chicken. Whatever that bullshit chicken is he got, go sell that shit. Stay out the way, bro.
yeah, chicken shop.
We don't want to see him.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me tell y'all something. This is what bothers me.
He is from Brooklyn. That's not from the Bronx, baby. He is not from the Bronx.
Oh,
He's
man.
He's not gonna put that in the Bronx.
Hey, chill. He from Bushwick. We ain't claiming him.
From Yonkers.
Nah.
Listen.
Hell no.
Connecticut. Listen, but what I was gonna say so. Go ahead.
Well, you about to say something about Chris Colbert?
No, I will say though, like I can respect a fighter that took. Remember when AB got fucked up by Maidana? One thing I respected about AB, he never gave up in that fight. He showed he was a dog. He kept coming, and Maidana was fucking him up, but he kept coming, yo. Brown didn't give up.
Well,
and remember, he said he admitted I got cooked.
He won the last round.
Huh?
You know, he won that. AB was winning at the end of the fight, but that Madonna fight changed him forever. He never threw hands again in no fight after that. He became gun shy. You know why? Because he was embarrassed, and because
he Colbert. Nah, he was running. He was running after he got dropped. Man.
And guess what? I think he's going to be another Adrian Bronner 2.0. But this is what I was going to say. My problem is a lot of these fighters, they get one notoriety win or they get on TV and all of a sudden I got 3, 4, 5 businesses. I got a record label. I got this, that. How about focus on your craft?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Focus on your craft. Live the fighter lifestyle. One thing I know Tank got a trucking company and all that stuff. Good. You ain't got to manage that. Somebody else manage that. But when you got restaurant, you got record label, you all in the studio. You know what I'm saying? All up in the club, all up in the videos. But my thing is this, if you focus on your craft, good things come. This is why I'm so proud of Tank. Because listen, and believe it or not, a lot of people say, "Oh, Mayweather didn't do this, Mayweather didn't do that." A lot of the reason why Mayweather moved the way he did because Tank was still going through his maturity situations. He was still getting in trouble. He was still not focused. So if he put him in a biggest stage ever, and he's not disciplined enough, you know what I mean? Then he wanted to make sure Tank with those is a father now. He's focused. I love it. He's living that life like Crawford lived. Crawford lives a very clean life. And he's staying focused.
Well, let me say this. I would love to see Tank Davis fight Colbert after this fight because listen, man, Colbert done moved almost into my list with Caleb Plant, where I want to see these guys take some good serious whoopings, man.
I like Caleb.
I don't like this comment that Cozy Vito says. He says, Broner's a 4th division champ. Colbert don't even got a belt. We can't disrespect AB like that.
I mean,
Colbert had this thing to be like talking shit. You know, my guy, have a seat, relax.
I just wanted to give him his credit for his heart, you know, for keep trying. That shit what Colbert did. That shit what Colbert did at the end of that fight. That man was straight running, yo. That was some bullshit, bro. Like for real.
Broner actually had a good start in his career, and Colbert already.
Facts.
And also, yeah, and
I think he realized the mistake he made by posting that, and he might back onto it for a while.
And also too, we got to bring this up, Nike. I got to. Adrian Broner has been someone that no matter, first of all, we all know he got heart. Even in the Sean Porter fight, when he was getting beat up, he dropped Sean Porter in the 12th round. So he never gives up. He might not be the greatest fighter, but he got heart. The other thing that Adrian Broner does that Chris Colbert will never have is he'll never have his people back him. And I'm talking about the Black Americans. Adrian Broner say, hey, I fight for the hood. I fight for this. I fight for that. He always, Chris Colbert, when they start talking to him about black issues, he started talking about Mexico. Now, nothing wrong with that. But when we see him, we don't see Julio Cesar Chavez. You get what I'm saying? No. We don't see Antonio Margarito.
We don't even see Oscar De La Hoya.
We don't see Oscar De La Hoya. We don't see anybody. But
Vicente Guerrero, that was Mexico. Exactly. That was the black president of Mexico, which is the second president of Mexico.
I mean, Yuri Boy Campos is the darkest Mexican I ever seen, and Chris Colbert is my complexion. So they see a black guy, and they see a black guy that will down his own people to uplift Mexico. And like I say, he can say I'm both, and people will be cool with it. But I just don't like his outside game. And then the inside game in the ring, he had never really been good. And now he's in trouble because PBC got a bunch of killers. Put him in the ring with Frank Martin. You get what I'm saying?
He won't survive. He won't. So Frank Martin to me is probably the second, third best at 135.
Absolutely. But guess what? You're absolutely right about Frank Martin. But wouldn't it be great if he had a breakout fight against Chris Colbert? Make it happen. It ain't
you know what? And you know what? You can sell it because it'll look good because Colbert was talking shit about Earl. So it'll look great.
It'll be great.
Beat that ass.
Great fight. Put it on the Earl Spence Bud Crawford undercard.
Oh man, I would love that.
That's what I want to see.
And the thing about it is he's so overconfident, he'll take the fight thinking he'll gonna win.
Absolutely.
The thing about it is he fights very straight up, right? He flicks like he's got a lot of energy like a buzzing bee, but he's so erect. You know what I mean? He has this erect type of stance, and he flicks, it's almost like it's robotic. And that's why I'm saying it's not a natural flow. It's like I'm trying to show you that this is what I'm doing. It's like I don't know. It's like he almost posing when he's fighting. So my whole thing is I think the brother has potential, but sometimes when you talk your way to a point like he has been doing, this is where I was like, you know what, I got to jump off. When he was Little B-Hop, he was okay. When he became prime time, he lost me. That's when his personality started to come out. Now, speaking of personalities, I'm going to flip the script a little bit. Personality.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Charlos, right? The Charlos, they've always been, I always loved the Charlos. They was always, I felt like they should have both of them been on them pound for pound. But my thing is, if they mellowed their personality, they would be the two most marketable fighters in America. You know what I'm saying? I
don't want to see it, bro. I like Mel. I like Mel being the Mel that he is. Now, Maul, I'm sorry. I see y'all giving him love. I just don't think he like that. I'm sorry.
Well, know the reason why. You know why Mel got disrespect. Okay, everybody, hold on one second, checkmate. Hold on, checkmate. I'm gonna let you roll, check. But let me say this one thing. We all know why Mel started getting some hate. And it all because of his MAGA comments. Now, he tried to make up for it in this last build up to the fight. But before that, and see, that's why I say you have to be careful, man, about what you say. Because number one, you can put a tweet out and that thing is never erased, man. You can try to erase it. Somebody done put it up there. So Jermell Charlo has had issues with saying comments about his own race. Let's be honest. It's the truth.
Well, because
he made MAGA comments.
He got this little brother syndrome.
I'm sorry, Cozy. and I've been saying it. I'm
Jamal
I'm
was
I'm,
better
I'm
than
sort of a
him.
casual, but I watched boxing for a while, and I always thought Mal was a better fighter than Maul. Always,
See,
bro. And that's a
I
fact.
view it a little differently. They had two completely different styles. Jamel is more of like he can be slick, he can, but Jamal is sort of like a Terminator. He doesn't, he's gonna fight, 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 fight. Jamel, he's gonna, he'll fight on the back foot, he'll slip, you know what I mean? He'll
Mhm.
counter, but Jamal is straight. I'm gonna punish you. You know what
He
I'm
more
saying? Now,
versatile than Jamal.
And listen, I don't want to I would never disrespect any fighter. I respect what they do. They
Mhm.
definitely, man. Listen, I respect all fighters, but Maul just got to prove it. He hasn't the best win on his resume is J Rock, man. And
No,
No,
it's
even with
actually
Cal,
Devinchenko,
Devinchenko.
Devinchenko,
Devinchenko.
Devinchenko,
Yeah,
Devinchenko. You know why?
you think so?
Devinchenko
I don't know.
Devinchenko beat
definitely.
GGG and Jamal and Maul basically. You know what I mean? He basically walked through him. You know what I mean? He walked him.
Yeah.
You
In
know
the
what I
next
mean?
fight,
So
definitely.
right, and so you think about a bull. He's a raging bull. You know what I mean? Coming at him and very tough, very strong. Like I said, he beat GGG. Okay, and he gives
Facts, Pierre.
everybody a tough fight except his last fight. But but Derenchenko is a solid fighter, right? So
Mm.
that to me, that was his best. That was his best win
Right.
because he,
Hey,
you know what I mean.
Pierre, facts, Mr. Moss. Pierre
Mm.
Moss, facts. Don't
What
press.
I was going to say about their personalities, when they first came out and they start winning, they start getting on magazines, whatever. They got the Sugar Ray Leonard smile. They could have all these endorsements. I could actually. I'm a business development manager. I could actually get those guys millions and millions of dollars based on just shut up, just shut up, just box, look good, smile, wear your fashion. You know what I mean?
Jamel
Kiss the
can't
baby,
close
shake the
his
hands
mouth,
and kiss the
brother.
babies. But you know what he did? He did say the last time. He said, I got to watch myself. He said, I'm the undisputed champ now. There's people looking at me. I got to be a role model. He did start to monitor himself,
He's
but I
saying that,
fought.
but
Did you hear him? Did you hear him say it, Nika, though? Did you hear when he said that?
I didn't hear him say that. But if he's saying
That's because
that, I think that was
listen.
just him saying it to be saying it because he got an anger issue. He's
I-
just
Al
like me.
Heyman
I
needs to
always,
sit these
I-
guys down.
I
I'm
can't
gonna
be
keep
mad
it
at him.
real.
He's just like me. When I'm mad, I say like don't react.
Stay
Ooh,
off.
Don't
They
say
need to
nothing.
stay off the
And
alcohol, bro.
I'm
then
gonna keep it real. What Julius
somebody
said, right? Like,
Stay off that
listen,
alcohol.
listen. When he said that, he was coming out of a fight mode. He wasn't drinking and shit. But when you get regular Mel, when he turned up, he off the coke and Casamigos. It's up. It's turned
I
up,
don't
man.
think they do coke, man. I don't
Yeah, they
think
do
they do
coke,
coke.
bro. They do coke.
Hmm.
They do the
I know.
yayo.
I
They
know
do the
Tank said
yayo,
that
bro.
before. That's
They
because
do
they
the
hiked and
yayo.
all of that. They get
but
drug
you know,
tested, man.
Yeah,
They
that
do the
was
I
drug
yayo.
testing.
They have never failed a test for drugs or anybody ever see
Oh
them.
no.
But my thing is, if they would mellow their personalities and become a Sugar Ray Leonard, you don't have to be yourself, but you got to tone. Listen, I'm different in every different circle. I'm different in business. Hello, how are you? I can be very, very professional. You know what I mean? And I can
Right.
get in the gutter and roll in the mud, as you know,
I
Nika and Julie.
No, I'm the same way. I mean, I work. People know I work that I go off because we always get
I
like
wear a suit and tie.
patients or
Come on,
employees
right?
that come in and pay. So they know how I get. But for the most part, I'm very professional. But
And I'm very different around my family. My family's never heard me curse.
I'm gonna stop cursing people out. I'm gonna work on it. Don't react to people. And I'll be good for a little while, and then somebody says something stupid and disrespectful, and then I'm back at cussing your ass out again.
Checkmate.
I did it today.
Hey, Check. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and it's real. My mother had me and my brother in her 40s, so we couldn't even use the word lie. Now that's a Southern thing. You get what I'm saying? Nika finding that out. That's a Southern thing. So a lot of times I don't do things like that. I think that those guys has to get to a situation where you might have to get provoked into situations. But to me, that's why I don't like for athletes to drink. If you're gonna drink, do it in your home when no one is around. Because that stuff. I mean, first of all, drinking as a boxer is dangerous because you take liver shots.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? and you drinking. But I'm not Mr. Jesus or nobody, so I can't judge people. But I'm just saying that I think that is Jamel's issue, is the drinking. Even Earl Spence, as much as we love Earl, that was his problem. You know what I'm saying?
But he recognized it.
He recognized it after he almost died. He recognized it, and now he done put a stop to it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Tank Davis had put a stop to the alcohol and stuff.
Tank said he stopped drinking. Tank said he no longer drinks.
See, and look at his career, and also look at how calm he is. If Adrian Broner did that, he'd be the same way, man. Like, I'm just saying, I think that alcohol is. I think alcohol is bad for athletes, period. And the Charlo brothers are the poster child of what happens when you drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would you Mike? You said you feel bad for Adrian Broner?
I do. I feel bad for AB. Like, I seen
I feel bad as well because I feel like he's a grown man. He knows the actions that he's doing.
But the problem is though, Nika.
People want it more for him than he does, you know.
The problem with that though, I feel, Nika, is because like I think people pushed a certain side of him, which made him successful at young. Like they pushed that ignorant shit. Like, yeah, we love that, and I love that shit sometimes too. I love that ignorant shit, but you gotta be smart enough to know when to push that shit to the side. And AB just had the wrong people around him that just kept amping that shit up, and when it wasn't time. Like now, they just leave him out there. Like, who got his back? Like,
because you know why they leaving him out there? Because he ain't got the same money and issues, and this is just the society we in, man. I mean, y'all just look around, man, at any athlete or any boxer. You be like, wow, that boxer got a crew. Once you get up there, man, you could get a crew that'll say everything you doing is correct. Nobody is gonna stop you. Nobody gonna tell you no. Nobody gonna tell you what you're doing could end up putting you in prison.
They're helping you spend your money.
They're gonna help you spend your money, and that's just what it is. But you know, one guy that was a complete butthole, but
who's that?
He was always in control and not blowing money on people. That was Floyd Mayweather. Never drank, never smoked. He spent his money in strip clubs, but while he was spending money in the strip clubs, he was also owning a strip club and
I said that
doing business things. And that thing about thank Al Heyman, that thing is for real. That's why guys like J-Rock make millions of dollars outside of boxing. Now it looked like his career is done, but he making millions of dollars. Paul Williams,
houses, they buy a lot of houses.
Look at this.
And hold on one second, Mike. I'm gonna say this last statement. I'm through. I'm gonna say this last statement.
But remember J-Rock, and don't forget it, because I was just gonna say,
go ahead.
J-Rock had Breadman there to give him certain advice. Like, you know, he had that like big brother. Like Breadman is great with the properties and investments and stuff. He was able to give J-Rock advice on that. So don't forget that. He had that.
Right. Oh, I agree. But let me say the track record of Al Heyman is deep. When Paul Williams got in that car accident before a Canelo fight, I might add, years ago, it's been 10 years now. And Paul Williams hasn't missed, he missed boxing, but he still get checks from all the properties. Al Heyman has set those guys up in so many situations, man, to where they'll never have to work again. So, I mean, I would get with
AB then.
Well, AB, that's the thing. AB, it was not just his circle too, it was also his upbringing. You know what I'm saying? All those other guys, Earl Spence, they come from a 2-family household, man. You know what I'm saying? Where
but AB had his father,
came from the straight ghetto.
Didn't he have his father?
He wasn't with his mother, and he was living in the ghetto. He lived in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And he came from an upbringing that a lot of people, we glamorize you know what I'm saying, people that come up in that situation,
facts.
but we don't want to live in it ourselves. So it's
Facts.
hard to get that mentality. I'm just telling you, somebody who grew up real poor, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts.
You know, just the way it is now.
Well, you
Nah,
know,
facts, man.
I see that he's still in the gym now, looking like there's a fight maybe in July or
You mean
something. or
AB?
June.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like that'd be dangerous, yo, because they do that. Like I know these fighters. Listen, I know the fighters could stay focused enough just to get to the fight, but the problem is like that lead up before staying focused and getting to that shit.
Well, no,
where
he
you
was
that it's a
pissy
lot,
ass.
you know.
He was pissy ass drunk at Spence fight.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
they
Yeah.
they was
Now he's
leaning
back
him
in the
against. They
gym.
was leaning him against the wall. They
Yep.
was leaning him
Now
against
he's
the
back in the
wall.
gym.
Yep.
And you know, and it looks like it's been consistent, maybe like
And it,
That
and
shit
it looked
dangerous.
pitiful. And
Yeah,
and,
but you
and,
can't live that lifestyle.
and,
That's
and
like your
also
craft.
too, Nika, I mean, don't get, no disrespect, but these guys, man, come from situations where, let's be honest, man, they ain't used to having women like, you know what I'm saying, some of the women that they guys. I mean, look,
I'm glad you said that.
we
I'm
like
glad you said
we
that.
like to talk
I got
about.
something to say.
See, here's
I
the
got something to
thing.
say.
We like to talk about there are levels, right? So if a guy been in a situation where he ain't never had his mama or his upbringing, they might bring in $500-600 a month. Also are on welfare, food stamps, so not wearing good clothes. All of a sudden, because of his talent, he thrashed, and the next day it seemed like he a world champion, because that's what happened. Adrian Broner wasn't making money. The next day he won the world title. The next thing you know, he missed the HBO. He got money. He got women that would have never said anything to him. His level of women was maybe at a 2 or a 3. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But
Ain't
no,
nothing
no,
wrong with that.
disagree.
Out of a 10?
Okay, let's say a 4. Now hold on, let's say a 4. All right.
Out of a
Hold on a second.
No,
Let's say a 4.
Hold on. I
Dang,
tell you
that's
why, though,
harsh.
Julius. You know why?
No, hold on. Let me finish, Mike, because it sounds bad. Hold on, Mike.
No.
Let me clean it up first. Before I finish, let me clean it up. Okay, let's say, I'm not gonna say no number. Let's say average, okay? Let's just say average, right? So let's say he had an average level. And then the next thing you know, he's sleeping with celebrities. Like, think about that. You go from seeing the girl that stay down the hall from you to the next day you sleeping with one of them R&B singers, which happened with him.
Now, Julius, I know it looked like a higher level, but
come on, Cozy.
But let's keep it real. Like, I could listen. I could go to Bed-Stuy. I'm telling you, it's some things out there. I could go to Dykeman.
But hold on, he's from Cincinnati now.
He gonna get some Dominicanis, okay?
Right.
But look, I'm telling you, bro.
But Adrian Broner don't see what ladies like that every day, though. He's in Cincinnati. So if it was a nice looking Puerto Rican or Dominican woman that gonna get, natural long hair and all that good stuff, Adrian Broner used to be in Cincinnati and Kentucky border, Cincinnati and Kentucky, and he got that, and then he go to the level you talking about, and he got money. Like, come on, bro. That's a lot.
Hey, but look, I went to AB fight in Cincinnati, man. Cincinnati got some nice hood rats out there.
But check this out. How many of them nice hood rats you were talking about was talking to him when he was just broke, Adrian?
That I don't know.
All right, there you go. When him and his twin brother was running around. And Cozy, I ain't clowning, Cozy. I'm just keeping it 1,000 now. Yeah, hey, it's the level of women. That guy has always had them women could run him too. And then he went out there, he bragged about, now he ain't bragging no more, but he bragged about how he was, making all these baby with these pretty women. Now look at
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So there you go,
Nah,
man.
he don't like whatever money he does get from Al Heyman, it goes to the babies.
Gates,
I-
go to them
Child
babies.
support.
I was
Child
gonna
support
say,
is a tax.
I
Yes,
was gonna
sir.
say, if y'all remember before, like the Cholos actually calmed down. I remember when they used to be pulling up, like when PBC was doing the fights at the Barclays, like they used to be in there deep trying to trick my girl and all that. And then Jamal had got caught up. He was with the two chicks and they ended up setting them up. They robbed them.
The white girl in Connecticut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she almost
And
got
that's-
some time. She lost her medical degree behind that. Hold on.
What did she do?
He-
Say that again.
huh?
What did she do?
She stole a bag. Jamal Charlo had a bag with like 100,000 in the bag, and she took it. She stole it,
Word.
and they got her on video. And that's grand theft.
Facts.
And so she gave the money to a lot of people, held it. You know what I'm saying? And she never. I don't think he ever recovered, but like 20,000 of the money.
Facts.
But the thing was, this lady lost her medical career.
Facts.
And she gotta pay back you know what I'm saying, money. So it wasn't worth it. But yeah, they had to slow down. But that's what I'm talking about, brother. You talking about two country guys.
And see, that's because she wasn't her. If she was smart, what she would have did was she would have called up some little dirty dudes from Brooklyn and been like, "Yo, I got the world champion here at the hotel."
She did the right thing because they might have killed him. They might have been in there shooting.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But yeah, man. So I'm just saying, to me, Nika, checkmate. I think that the level of women these guys start talking to, and you know what I'm saying? Because look, think about it. When you're broke, and how serious do women take you if you come up and talk to them? But if they hear you the world champion,
you know what? It'd be kind of hard to really get that, because I'm not gonna hold you, like, no disrespect to where nobody from, but like even when I ain't have no money in the bank, like you could get girls from where I'm from. You could get nice looking women, like
right.
Nice looking women. Like, I don't know,
bro. When you go into Atlanta,
move, man.
Bro, when you go into Atlanta and Florida and all them places, brother, and even some in New York, man, it's kind of a different level. Okay,
I'm out here in Texas right now, brother. But I'm actually
Houston?
working on the oil rig out in. I'm in Houston, but I'm working on the oil rig out here. Not you know what I mean.
Okay,
it's like an hour away from Houston, but yeah, facts.
Yeah, man, it's a different level. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
Houston
you all know
women. Man, Houston got some women too.
Yes, that's true.
So,
my buddy.
So you're really saying that a lot of the boxers that a lot of these women can either make or break these fighters,
absolutely,
depending on what kind.
Look at Tio. Look at Tio.
With that though, because
look at Tio though.
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know that. Because I know something about the Tio, so it was not the girl. So we're not gonna.
But he put it on the girl though. He put it on the girl. He said that relationship, she broke up with me.
Okay, but look at him. All of them going through stuff like, again, Tank still got to go to court over the situation, with his baby mama. So it's a lot of times when you have these volatile situations with women, it will take your mind off your craft and whatever the case may be. So if you're not in a healthy relationship, it's best to just be focused on what you're doing, and you got to pay that child support tax, pay that tax, and just keep them out of your hair. That's what you get. You thought you were just gonna get a little bit. Now you got a whole 18 years of her getting.
Oh my God!
Raw. But see, that's where I kind of disagree with what Julia said, because what Matthew said, like every city has one. Like let's take somebody like AB when he was young and up and coming. Like, I'm sure all the good looking women in Cincinnati, they knew who AB was. He in shape. He handsome brother. I'm sure he could have got plenty good looking women.
Yeah, he was a D boy. I'm sure he got some.
I'm sure he got some. AP has some fine women, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
just
he has
on a
some.
different level, but
That's
he's
some
sure,
joint.
I'm sure he was a D boy. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is pull up to the club with some rims, and you're gonna have certain quality of girl, you know, who want that Alizé, and they'll be able
Hey,
to just sit in your car. You know
hey,
what I mean?
I
Go to
agree,
IHOP
y'all. But
and go
every
to the
city
IHOP
got.
and Waffle House
Hey, but
after the club. You
hey,
know?
look, every city got different levels. You know what I'm saying? They got different levels. The greatest hood girl, you know what I'm saying? It may be another one that came from the hood, but then moved from the hood or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
But
It's
Julius
different
is saying
levels.
that every every city, you know, even though you have hood rats on
Right.
every
You,
city,
you got some
there's
levels.
tiers. There's
Yeah,
tiers.
they're tears.
Hey,
Right,
There's
right,
always tears for
right. There's tears
anybody.
Like
There's
to it.
always
a hood
tears.
rat from New York might be.
It's levels.
and let's keep it real.
A hood rap from New York is probably better than a
It's
hood rap from
it's
Trenton.
it's
Right.
hood rat. We
Exactly.
Right.
also got hood rat tears too because
Oh.
she
If
hey
you've been
she
to
might be a
Trenton, you know
city
what I
girl.
mean. Not
She might be
Trenton,
a city girl, so we
Camden. I
got hood
meant
rat
Camden.
tears, man.
Yeah.
I didn't mean Trenton because I actually dated a Puerto Rican from Trenton when I used to live in Jersey.
Oh
But
man,
Okay.
good luck, bro. I hope you got a shot.
Oh man.
hey,
I don't
hey,
know nothing about that.
hey, man, I ain't never catch a sneeze from a woman.
And
But
then
I meant to say Camden. I
and,
meant to say Camden. Camden is
and
if
then
you dating a woman
Hey,
from Camden,
hey,
it's a
he
whole
meant to
nother
say
level
Trenton
below.
too. Trenton, New Jersey is
hey,
dirty.
hey,
I
but
ain't,
All of it is dirty,
but
man.
ain't worse
Mike,
than
Be dirty.
Camden.
but Mike, you down there in
Yo,
Texas, right?
yes,
So
sir.
so I'm gonna talk some South talk here now.
Okay.
With the exception of Florida,
Uh-huh.
if you are in the South, you're not gonna see a whole lot of those Latinos, with the exception of Mexicans. You're not gonna see any Puerto Ricans or Dominicans because trust me, brother, I didn't grow up around them
That's
at
fair. That's
all.
fair.
Now you didn't
That's
see
fair.
it; it was rare. So when they go to situations and see that and be like, "What?" I'm telling y'all, they go up a different gear. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, a different tier. Tier 1, 2, 3, 4. And when the more money you got, the better the tier you at.
Hey, bro, I don't know what they be doing over there. I don't know what they be doing on Dykeman, but it's like they go over there to San Pedro or whatever, and they get the chicks fresh off the boat, and they said they put them, they give them a Coach bag. They start selling drinks, and
Fresh off the boat.
Fresh
couple
off the
months
boat.
later, man. Couple months later, man. Listen,
They got a Dominican pipeline.
it's a pipeline on Dykeman, bro.
A pipeline.
Hey, shout out to Mama Waters.
Mama Waters.
Dykeman,
Well,
go to Mama Waters.
Well, hey, look. Hey, look, Adrian Broner always used to get in trouble down Brooklyn. So I'm telling y'all, man. And Tank Davis, his sore spot is the Atlanta, man. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's just a different, you know what I'm saying, game.
Mayweather baby mother used to be chilling in Brooklyn. His daughter too, Yaya. She used to be in Brooklyn with the scammers.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? You said with the
scammers?
She used to be
out there. She used to be out there with the scammers.
Not the one that died, right? You're not talking about her. You're talking about the other little short one, right?
Yeah,
because Mayweather. Yeah, Mayweather. His girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, Josie, she died.
Yeah, not her.
OD in Las Vegas. You know, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, man. But yeah. Just we had to throw that. Yeah, the show went a little different right there.
It is part of boxing life, you know.
And look, that goes to show you, right? Look at Yaya. She grew up in a $1 billion home, and she still she was in Flatbush with the scammers chilling. She definitely was out
there. But look who she got her baby by. So she's
NBA young boy.
She had a case. She just had to get out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and then she caught a case. Right.
I'm not even gonna talk about all the stuff going on with this dude that she actually chose to be her baby's dad. So I'm not even gonna get into that.
Let me say allegedly too. I don't want nobody to get in trouble, man. Allegedly.
Right. Well, you know, hey, look, man. Hey, and you know, that just lets you know that it be about the money and the status You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because a lot of these people aren't good people, man. That's another thing that was disheartening, going into the boxing game all them many years ago, going to certain fights and seeing certain fighters that just aren't good people, and yet folks be praising them and be going,
Facts.
hating about them and be doing all this super tweeting, and these ain't good people, man. These
That's
guys
why I like
are not
Wilder.
good people.
That's why I like Wilder, brother. Wilder, a good brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's
Earl-
a lot of
Earl,
piece of shit
good
boxers.
brother.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
there
a
are
lot
lot
of them,
shit
man.
boxers.
Bud, good.
A
good
lot
brother.
of them.
Like, a lot
A
of the
lot
guys
of
and well, call you a hater if you call out the facts about their
Right.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they
I
just
I'm
miss
bad.
sorry. I think some of these
I
men
miss
be attracted
Wilder.
to other. They be attracted
I
to
miss
other
it
men.
too.
That's why they can't. Get past that. They want to argue down about a damn boxer. Relax, brother. Relax, man.
Hey,
Hey,
look, man, like Edwin Valerio, when I be seeing people talk in such a positive note about him, and I be like saying to myself, hold on, man. We talking about a guy that was a straight up murderer, then killed himself. You know what I'm saying? And and a lot of times,
Facts.
what guys do outside of the ring sometimes shows up in the ring. That's
Facts.
why I be so fast to talk about Caleb. You know what I'm saying? Because Caleb has painted this picture and had Fox, doing the story on him like he was such a great guy.
I knew.
you said Valerio.
I had it.
Valerio,
I'm
is
speaking
that the Puerto
facts,
Rican?
though.
Hold up, is that the Puerto Rican guy?
Who Caleb
You
Plant?
No, you said Valerio. You said
Oh,
Edwin
no.
Valerio.
Valerio was from Nicaragua or
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Okay,
One of the two.
It's a
I
Puerto
thought
Rican
I
guy.
thought it was Nicaragua.
He was
Okay.
Nicaraguan or Venezuelan,
Okay.
and he was an undefeated junior lightweight, who had a world title. People wanted him to fight Manny Pacquiao at the time.
Facts.
He was a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? Real good fighter. Like, I think he was from Venezuela, and because he had a tattoo of the Venezuelan flag on him, so
Okay.
he represented
Well, that'll do
Venezuela
it.
and all that. But
Somebody wants
he
you
had.
to finish your Caleb Plant.
I want to know
No,
what
I
Caleb did too.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just saying.
You're like, okay.
They was painting the picture like Caleb was such a great guy, and he was talking about. You remember he was faking like he was crying, and he was so distraught talking about his baby girl and how she died in his arms.
You think he was faking?
Well, the mother of the child said he didn't even come to the hospital.
Oh wow!
And he said did he?
And
say
she
that
had
the
receipts.
baby died in his arms.
Yeah, he said the baby died in his arms. And remember, on the story, he went to the grave site and he got down and said, "Baby girl, I'm bringing that world title to you." You know what I'm saying? He did all this stuff. Man, these people are phony. They're
That's
fake.
some
And
sick shit.
she had to go to like a small media
Right.
outlet to get her story out.
Right.
They
Because
didn't want to. They weren't
didn't-
going to
right.
hear her. And
Facts. They didn't want
that
her-
narrative out there.
right. That's right.
Wow,
and
that-
she was
that's
a
some-
black girl. She was a black girl
Wow.
too. She was a mixed black girl, just like Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He has a pattern. And this isn't my words, this is Caleb words. He said,
Wow.
back then, I wasn't worried about nothing but my boxing career. It was me and my daddy. And we was on this what do you say, quest to win a world title. Like I say, everything you need to know about Caleb is when they killed his mom, and he was supposed to be furious, and he said he was going to make a statement. And I haven't heard the statement.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been 3 years. I would have been furious.
Hell yeah.
This guy, no, man. He said, I got to concentrate on my fight, and after the fight, I'm going to make a statement. I'm still waiting.
Cannabis Clement says,
Jose Benavidez Sr. said he was exploring that girl's death. Hey, that's what I feel. That's what I feel.
But I mean, they have a beef, so you can't really.
Yeah, that's true.
They have a beef,
Yo.
so he's gonna say what he's gonna say.
Yo, I know I came in a little late.
Facts, Jashawn.
I know I came in a little late, and I know y'all probably touched on the fight. But I still think Canelo gonna beat Benavidez ass. Still think he gonna do it.
Well,
Look at that.
You don't want
Look
check
at
up.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Look at that.
Check
I
woke
got
up.
three. I got three of these. 3 against 1. Cause I got 3 against 1.
Uh-oh.
Mango Mommy, Mike, and Jules are going for
just being honest.
cinnamon over
the reels that I
Benavidez.
saw last night
Check.
it's not
Hey,
that
checkmate!
many.
You ain't about to put me in the grave, is you, Check?
I ain't putting nobody in the grave in a minute. I need somebody. Hey, don't be messing with me no more. They don't be messing with me no more. They don't mess with. They put me on mute now and everything. You know they come at me.
On Twitter, you mean people mute you?
Yeah,
them
because they
guys
come at
be
me and
tripping,
they
man.
come at me and then I put them in the grave and all of a sudden
And-
I don't. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
hold on.
They leave me alone.
And I gotta say something else too, Nika. I shouldn't have said nothing about Roman Gonzalez on Friday night. My God, these guys talked up there on Twitter for about 6 hours straight, talking trash to me and Checkmate about Roman Gonzalez. I should have
Let's
never
talk
brought
about
that
that.
up Friday night.
Let's talk
I know,
about
I
the
saw it
pound
on
for
the
pound
timeline.
list.
I saw it on the
Talk
timeline.
about the pound for. Hey, can you screen share? You want me to send you something, a picture, or you can screen share Rings pound for pound list? Let's talk
Yeah,
about
I
it
can
and
do it.
destroy it.
Okay. Hey,
Let's
Willie,
talk about
how you
it.
doing tonight? Mr. Willie, how you doing today?
Hey, what's
I
up, man?
don't
I'm gonna
mind
step
pound
away.
for pound.
Nika, I'm gonna step away for about 3 minutes.
Okay. All right. So,
All right.
checkmate. Tag me in the pound for pound list, and then I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
getting
something
it
about
now.
it, Check, when I come back.
I saw the
All right,
talk
getting it
about
now.
it after we got off live. I saw
Y'all gotta
people were like,
understand.
all
though.
the disrespect for Chocolatito. They were going in.
Yo, pound for pound list is tough to do though, man. It's really tough to do. I get it. But
Okay,
some
while I'm
people,
looking for this,
some people shouldn't be disrespected, like Shakur, Mel. You know,
but let me ask you something.
But-
How do they put Shakur like they even had Shakur in pound for pound over Tank? Like, how does this work? Now, what is it? Come on, none of Shakur's wins were bigger than Tank's biggest win.
I'm
You know what
sorry,
I'm saying?
bro. I think Valdez bigger than any Tank win, and I think Shakur's a bozo. I think
Valdez was
Shakur's a bozo, bro.
Valdez was
He's a
not
good-
a big win
great
because
boxer.
Valdez
Huh?
to me, I thought Valdez was
Valdez was a
overrated. I
great
told
win.
people, not to me, just because he had a belt, not to me. I understand his record, but I also understand. Okay, well, he's never showed me anything versus something of high quality. Let me know. So I knew going into that fight that it was going to be a mismatch. I knew it was going to be one-sided because I knew the style that he was bringing. So I was like, this is not really going to be that competitive. So I can't gauge if something I knew that already knew going into the fight was going to be a bloodbath. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give him that type of credit. Valdez, he wasn't on anybody's mapping really until he beat Burchell. And Burchell is the slowest. He just was bigger than everybody, slow, awkward. You know what I mean? So
Shakur wanted that. Shakur wanted Burchell. He wanted that body. But he gave him a Valdez.
But Valdez got
That's a good question.
a batter Burchell because he was recovering from COVID. His weight was like super drained. He got the best of Burchell in that fight.
You know what?
It made Valdez look way more than he, look better than.
That's a fact. That's a fact too. You know what? I might take Barrios. So.
Let's see. Barrios has been continuous champion since 2012. Right? He's the number one punches thrown, punches landed. Number
Leo
two with 1,021 punches per fight. I mean, he has so many different records. You know what I mean? So to think about this, he's again, people always talk about the divisions. To me, the divisions is a twofold. One, if you just can't make the weight, you're naturally going to go up. So it's I don't really look at that.
I just don't know, bro. Like
I
love. Trust me, I think Tink is a great fighter. He got to show it. Who has he fought? I don't know, man. I can't.
Everybody
he's fought.
Well, again, Leo Santa Cruz is walking into the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? He's been continuous. He has been a continuous champ since 2012.
Tank
Brother.
was
You
too
can't take
big
that
for him,
away.
bro. Tank was
Well,
too
okay,
big for him.
okay. Now, if you look in the ring, it was actually Leo who was 5'7". He was the bigger, longer guy. So people keep saying Tank too big for him. Like, come on, like, okay, he was 5'7". He's like 2.5 inches taller than Tank, and he's longer. He has every physical capability as far as the length, the reach, and so forth over Tank. So I can't see how two people come in the ring and they weigh in at 130, and you say Tank too big for him. I can't take that because we're always going to lessen. It seems like people always discount Tank's opponents. When to me, Leo Santa Cruz has already had 5 career-defining fights. When you see Leo Santa Cruz in a fight, you know he's and even the loss that he got, it was to me he shouldn't have lost. You know, I think he was robbed, but he avenged that loss. You know what I mean? So to me, Leo Santa Cruz is again since 2012 been champ. You cannot take that away. People talk about Donaire. Okay, well, Leo Santa Cruz's record is better than Donaire's. Okay, but nobody wants to give Leo Santa Cruz's record.
Good.
People don't want to give him credit, but the problem is when you look at ring throughout the years since 2012, Leo was always the number one on their, you know, in that particular weight class where he at. So all of a sudden, people just don't want to give Leo that credit. Why? Because he was Al Heyman. But that's a very quality win. You can't take nothing away from Tank moving up to 140 and fighting the 5'10" Barrios. Can't take nothing away that he knocked out a guy. He knocked out a guy that Keith couldn't knock out.
Do you see? Do you guys agree with what Cozy Vito just posted? He says
I said that before.
Fight, and I fuck with Shakur, but
I don't know now. No, Shakur looked big. You know, I used to think that Tank stop Shakur, but I don't know. Shakur it looked like he getting a little bigger. Like, you know, I don't know. I think he could control distance. You know, I could see Tank dropping him definitely, but I don't know if he'll stop him. I don't know.
I see a stop.
I want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. I want to see it.
Eventually, but listen, I would love. But my whole thing is these fighters want to jump these. I want Shakur to get his get his undisputed at 130. As Bob Arum said, "Oh, I don't. You know, I'm sick of it." And he said, I don't like why you got to pay all these fees, huh? Yeah, no, I think it's stupid. I think undisputed is stupid. If you want to have 1 or 2 belts, that's maybe. But the thing about it is, Bob Arum want Tyson Fury for undisputed. He was saying Tyson Fury, he's going to be undisputed in a year. He was going for Loma for undisputed. He was, going for again Taylor for undisputed. He was going, for Tio for undisputed.
That was his play with Bud, 135 and 40.
All these undisputed, but all of a sudden remember he did not want Spence versus Bud for undisputed. He was saying, no, we need to fight now. We need to fight now. The reason being is because he don't want these two top Black Americans fighting for undisputed because that will make them automatically take the shadow off his artificially anointed. Hold up.
Can I be the first to say that, dude, Tyson Fury is a monster.
You say he a monster?
No, Tyson Fury is a monster. That dude's just like definitely scary.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Did you did you put the list up?
I'm looking for it on Ring Magazine thing, right?
Oh, okay.
Is their list that we're going to debate?
I guess I ain't for sure exactly who you talking about.
Yeah, I'm going through their photo.
I think Clarissa should be on the list too because she the best women's fighter out there. Hands down.
You make a lot of sense, but the way that this male-dominated world we in, they never put a woman on a list with males.
No shit, because we're stupid.
That's what I'm just saying. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, we're dumb. We fight stuff for a living, and fuck that. That's about us. At least women know not to fuck.
Let's see.
Oh, my dog's like curled up right next to me.
ESPN pound for pound list?
I know that's the funny one. Yeah, do it ESPN.
I think check looking for it.
I'm gonna pull this one up for now. Yeah, people get really, really in their feelings about pound for pounders, man.
I agree.
All right. This is the latest one.
Bud, anyway, Spence.
Oh, he's jacked.
Well, I already see two names that just make me laugh. It just make me laugh, man.
Who is that?
One, Francisco
I know you're gonna say that
Estrada.
one. Yeah.
Vasily
Where is
Lomachenko.
Stephen Fulton? Where is Stephen Fulton? I'm sorry.
Fulton, yes.
Where's
Fulton got better wins than Inoue. And this was the thing that I was saying, Nika, that gets me in trouble. I think Shakur wins, Cozy. The thing that gets me in trouble is this right here. I don't be seeing the greatness in some of these fighters they be talking about. Because I think Inoue is a great puncher. I just don't think the weight class that he in makes it valid to put him at number 2.
Bro,
like you, in order to
we
be,
can't blame him for weight class.
but see, that's the thing. But when you looking at pound for pound, it's not about being fair. Because the reason I say that is because you got 147 pounder, you got heavyweights, you got middleweights, super middleweights, so it's not fair. So you only
get it. That's why it's hard. Like that's
so the only thing
if we look at it, I'm sorry. I don't think you sick. I'm just sorry. Like I don't think you sick. I think I put heavyweights pound for pound anyway. I just don't. I don't call it.
Well, I think Usyk should be up there.
Take a lot of punches.
I think he should be number 10, but I definitely think Usyk should be up there, and I think he should be like 10. But like I say,
he's accomplished some shit though.
He has. He got good accomplishments, but as far as Juan Francisco Estrada, man, stop it. Stop
They're
it.
gonna hop on you again.
They're gonna just have to hop on me, man. They gotta hop on me because I'm like, man, come on now.
The good thing about Earl and Bud, they gonna fight for number 1 at the end of this year. So we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year.
It's gonna be this year.
Inoue has beat one guy that everybody heard of. That was Nonito Donaire. who was what, 39 when he beat him. So I mean,
So you don't agree with him being on the list?
No, number 2, no.
No. Well, should he be on the list at all?
Really, no. But I can see why people say it. Like
Julius, you're going too far,
No, but I see why people say it. Could they get thrilled by somebody knocking out people at 112 or 115? So I can't
do that. That's not fair, bro.
They can't help the way they cast it.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, Tony Yayo, he was 37. He won't 39. He was 37.
All right, let me see. He just tagged me in the list, so let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. He had the same list or not.
Straight up though, Pacquiao is like pound for pound, like a mean dude.
If we look at Pacquiao, he's definitely pound for pound one of the best ever because to come from where the fuck did he come from? Like 108 or something?
Yeah, 108. 108. But this is my thing about the pound for pound. They constantly move. They constantly move the chains, right? First is about pounds of pound. Yeah, pound for pound is supposed to be as far as if you put them in a fight. It's not even supposed to be about belts. You add that in there, you give them points for that, but that's not the make all to be all. Why? Because Andy Ruiz beat Joshua, destroyed him. Nobody put him in pound to pound. Usyk beat him. How does Usyk become number 1? Usyk fought Witherspoon, and he fought 12 lost Chisora. Those are not quality heavyweight wins. Okay,
No.
you know, oh, because he was undisputed. He was undisputed cruiserweight.
At
But guess
cruiserweight,
what?
right.
Oh, are they great guys? Did you ever hear about them? Are they
No.
doing anything spectacular? No.
But
So
bro,
listen,
for that man to go all the way from welterweight up to heavy, that's a
okay,
big
but
accomplishment.
okay, but
Who went
okay,
from welterweight to
listen,
heavyweight?
but who?
Then Usyk go. He
No,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
started
yeah,
at
fighting-
cruiserweight.
He started at cruiserweight.
I'm thinking
What
about when
happened?
he was
What
in
happened,
amateurs and because he did
No, I was
fight
gonna
Sean
put it.
Porter, right?
Trying to put it like a full screen.
You talking about a decade ago.
Okay,
In the
right,
amateurs.
okay, but listen, yeah, you
Right.
talk. But listen,
Wasn't
that's when Sean Porter
cruiserweight
fought him and all of that
150?
stuff. But that
Yeah.
has nothing to do with his professional record. Now the guy
Right.
only what he
That's
what, he,
true.
what 19 wins or whatever he got, 21. But my thing
Yeah.
is this: he has not fought the caliber opponents. Now all of a sudden you got other people with pound for pounds. You don't even count them anymore. People kicking Josh Taylor out. But you got Usyk because he won heavyweight, but it was supposed to be made for people for non-heavyweights because we know the heavyweight fighter. If you put him in a ring with anybody, he's going to beat everybody because he's the bigger and the strongest of everybody, right? So is Usyk a better fighter than Bud Spence? Than Bud or Spence? Does he have better boxing techniques and skill? Does he have better skill than the Gervonta Tank Davis? You know what I mean? So when you're talking about pound for pound, who will win versus their skill? So how could Usyk be there as a heavyweight? Number one, again, it's because he's Ukrainian, he's Eastern European. You know what I mean? And they just need, again, they're constantly trying to anoint their great white hope. This is what they're doing. They do not want to create another Floyd. They do not want to honor, give Black Americans credit, for their, for their skill level. So this is what they do. I mean, it's just so crazy. The fact that they even got Loma there, still Loma at number 7. How does Loma, who just lost to Tio and then fought 2 Tio retreads, and Nakatani and Comey, to me, they're 2 bum fighters. They're not credible fighters. They don't have any credible wins. They were all just prospects. And Comey, you know what I mean? Listen, I don't trust any African fighter that is trained in Africa. If you're an African fighter, I don't bet on any. If you're an African fighter, 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose because you don't have the training. You don't have the quality trainers. You don't have the facilities. You don't have the quality opponents. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying?
With the exception of Ike Forte.
No.
I said
Listen. You can always name 2 or 3, but we're talking about in general.
He talking about historically, yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about in general. Like that's just like that's like the Jamaican bobsledding team. Great, yay! Y'all made the bobsled in the Olympics, but are they going to beat the Nordics?
Who would you guys say would be the best boxer in all history?
Best boxer in what? Best boxer in what?
Heavyweight.
For me, Roy Jones. Roy Jones is the best specimen.
Heavyweight history?
Yeah, best heavyweight in all history.
Man, that's
hard.
My favorite is Mike Tyson, but
that's hard because you can make a case for a lot of people. You can make a case for Ali.
That mean motherfucker. That mean
George Foreman.
Ali was good,
I put it to you like this. I'll put it to you like this. And I want to look
punches. Foreman was a beast, bro.
Hold up, I want to look at George Foreman for a second because and this ain't just heavyweight. This is all of boxing. Like sometimes we like Checkmate said, we give heavyweights too much credit, and sometimes we don't give them enough credit. And my thing is this right here: George Foreman took a break from boxing for almost 15 years. The man came back and won the heavyweight championship of the world. And he did it eating hamburgers. He did it eating hamburgers. So
I give credit to that man.
Yes.
That dude's a man.
And then let's give Lennox. Let's give Lennox his credit. Lennox with Emmanuel.
Absolutely.
I give him his credit.
Oh yeah.
Lennox.
Yeah.
All right, but okay, Nike got the list up now, y'all.
It's crazy.
Jump back this before.
It's crazy.
To make it
Okay,
bigger,
so listen.
give me one
What's
second.
up with this Juan Estrada, man? I don't know.
Man, they need to
I'm,
stop it, man.
dude,
They
I'm
need to
telling you
stop
what.
it.
I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. You know, Adam Leibowitz, he's the only ring voter that I know of who he's just such a middle of the road guy. He's not a biased guy at all. You know what I mean? And you know, he had to fight to get Jamel Charlo on the list. And look where they put him. They put him number 10. How you listen, not only this is how crazy this is, he was ring champ. He had 3 belts plus ring champ before the undisputed. So how
Yeah,
you gonna
that's
be a ring
disrespectful.
champ and you're not going to be pound for pound?
Okay. Then
they put Josh Taylor before him, and we know Josh Taylor lost his last
Come
fight.
on,
And
man.
Josh
Right.
Taylor did not even listen. He knocked out every single one of his the champions to get those belts, and he had a tougher road, and he finished in dynamic fashion than any of these pound for pound runs. But yet
Well, let
they
me-
disrespect him and put it number.
Well, let
10.
me talk about Juan Estrada. Juan Estrada lost to a guy that was 24-6-1 named Juan Carlos Sanchez Jr. He lost to Chocolito, and then he lost to the Filipino guy. I mean, not I don't know if he's Filipino. Washik. I'm trying to think of where this guy's from. Because I was thinking he was from the Philippines. Wherever he from, he beat him. So his record is like 40-3. I'll give him credit. He did beat a guy from my hometown that is not known for boxing, named Dwayne Beeman. He stopped Dwayne Beeman a year or so ago, beat him in a bull ring in Mexico. But bro, stop it. The man fought at 108, 112, 115. I get it, but listen, if we want to rate this guy in the pound for pound list, all he has to do is move up 1 pound, 2 pounds, or 3 pounds and fight anyway. You know what I'm saying? Or he could, he fight at 115. So 115 to 118 is not no earth-shattering move.
They need to
in
fight
weight.
them.
Let me see if he can fight. If people say he's a number 3, a number 5 pound for pound, please let him move up 3 pounds and fight anyway. Just 3 pounds, man. Fight Donaire. Fight anybody. Just go up 3 pounds. Like,
yeah, I give Donaire
like
his credit.
I remember when Nika said this about a guy, a
Send
fighter
him to the
before.
Lions.
So I'm gonna say it. Stop shoving this guy down my throat, man. Come on. Stop shoving it down my throat. Y'all talking like this guy's a killer. You talking like he a killer. Come on,
Okay.
man.
All right, so let's try to keep some cohesiveness. Let's try to go to each one of them that's on the list. That way we can talk about it. Because
I tried to blow it up, so I was. Give me one.
Okay. I wasn't even okay. I thought you still had.
Thank you, Cozy. He's not a top 10 pound for pound fighter. No, he isn't. So they need to stop it.
But again,
where is Cool Boy Steph?
I agree.
Where is Gervonta Tank Davis? Name 3 fighters with better skills right now. Name 3 fighters with better skills than Tank right now. I want to hear it.
Loma.
You think so? Loma lost to 12 loss Salido and lost to 15 win Tio. But you think Loma? Wait. Let me finish. But you think Loma has better skills than Tank, even though he couldn't put his skills into practice because he got beat twice by low-level opposition.
I think Tank was scared to take that fight. I tell you that.
Which one of those fighters you think
Tank
would
don't
actually
make Tank. Wait, my man. Tank, listen. Tank has never been scared to take any fight. Tank don't make his own fights. You know that. Tank don't pick his fight.
I think Mayweather didn't want Tank taking that fight.
Listen. I think Tank was going through a lot of things with the court, with the growing pains, with the maturity, and I listened to Calvin said that he said Floyd kept calling me and saying, Tank need to be more professional. Tank need to do this. Tank need to do that. So I think it was a lot of back and forth going on with that. While
I'm
he was
sorry,
trying to hold
y'all. I know
things.
y'all don't like. I know y'all don't like Loma. I think.
No, I never said
injury when he fought T.O. I don't take that fight serious. I think they fight again. He's going to beat T.O.
Okay, but Mike,
I think that's just a fact.
Okay, but
Mike,
Loma
was a great
but
fighter.
He lost. But Tank had an injury. Tank beat Cruz with one hand.
That's cool.
Tank didn't have any excuses. No
That's
excuses.
Cool. I get it.
Right?
I get it. And Loma
and listen. And you talk about this injury. Loma was throwing bombs in the back half. Loma won the back half of the fight. So where was that injury? So y'all say he had injuries for the first 7 rounds, but all of a sudden he threw more punches than T.O. when the back half of the fight. You know what I mean? So I didn't see any injuries that affected him, but you did see an injury that affected Tank because he was only fighting with one hand. He was outboxing that Cruz. You know what I'm saying? So you think Loma? What does Loma do better than Tank? You say what has he shown that he does better than
box?
Tank? How many fights have you watched of Tank?
I watch all Tank fights. What you mean? I like Tank.
You watched all fights, all Tank fights.
Okay. Like LB say, Tank is a star.
Okay, now
listen. I think
okay, so check this, Mike.
Boxer.
Okay, so check this. Was he a better?
Well, okay. On the screen, so this is
okay. All right. Let me
real quick. Let me land this real quick, Jules. So you saying Loma was a better fighter, a better boxer against Pedraza than Tank was against Pedraza?
Come on, man. We know styles make fights. Let's not do
that. No. My brother, listen. In the 11th round, in the 10th round of that, you know what the ESPN said? ESPN, I got it on, I made a video about it. Listen. So ESPN, they said, hey, like, are you impressed with Loma? The Loma that we've grown to be scared? He said, no, I'm not impressed with him tonight. This was the 10th round. They was like,
I agree. I agree.
And he gave him the panda eyes. But what did Tank do to this same guy? So when you talk about skills and you put it in practice, that's the only person that we can compare it to is Pedraza. And Tank just mocked that boy. And with quickness, with jabs, in and out, power, speed, reflexes, defense, everything. So everything that Loma didn't have versus Pedraza, Tank displayed versus Pedraza. It wasn't even a question from round 1 on, huh? So if you look at that and you look at their skills, if you look at those skills, then you gotta say this, and why, and Mike, you gotta say, okay, you say you think Loma's a better skill. Well, look at those 2 fights again when you get time, and you tell me.
I agree with Brown. Tank nice, but he not like. I just gotta see it. I gotta see it. Right here, Tank nice, but he's not. I gotta see it. I gotta see it, man. I like Tank. I think he's a star. He is a star. Like,
can you scroll it up a little bit more?
I'm gonna be at this fight.
I was just gonna.
All right, I was gonna
say if you could scroll it up a little bit more. That way, no matter even if a message
I'm gonna break down Inoue. If y'all finish, I'll break down Inoue.
Okay, so let's start with Usyk.
Okay, yeah.
You want to start with Usyk? Okay,
let's go in order. Let's go in order. That way we can.
All right, here go Usyk. I give my little 2 seconds of Usyk career.
Perfect, Nika.
And I ain't gonna give it 2 minutes or 3. Well, let's say this. All right. So Usyk won the super. It was like the Super 6 little tournament in cruiserweight. He 19-0 with 13 knockouts, right? He's known. I think he gets, like a lot of non-American fighters, they get credit for their amateur career, like going to the Olympics and things of that nature. It still carry weight with them for whatever reason in the pros. They even do that with the Cuban fighters. You know what I'm saying? They talk about it. So he definitely won the Super Series or whatever that was. And let's break down who he beat. He beat a guy by the name of Krzysztof Gładkowski, a Polish guy. Okay, he beat Gładkowski. Okay, he beat him.
Who the fuck
8 rounds to 4. See, hey, I'm just gonna break it down. He then moved on and beat a South African boxer by the name of Thabiso Muchu.
Who the fuck is that?
Muchu got knocked out by Macaboo.
I know Macaboo.
Usyk,
I know him.
Usyk
Okay, I know
beat
him.
him. Usyk defeated
He
him.
beat Macaboo?
No, he beat Machui,
Nah.
a guy that was 17-2 with 11 knockouts. He beat him. Stopped him in the 10th round or the 9th round. Okay. Then he beat the great Michael Hunter.
I heard
Michael
him.
the
I heard
bounty
of him.
hunter. Okay.
He ain't great though.
I know he's not. I'm just breaking it down. That's all. He beat him on the scorecards 117, 111. Then he beat.
People are loving the way you're saying pronouncing these names, Julius, because
Hey, he beat Marco Huckleberry Finn. Marco Huck.
Oh God.
He beat him. Okay, a guy that was 40-4 that had been stretched out a couple times. Then he beat a European from Latvia, Marius Bredius. You know what I'm saying?
I never heard
Tell
of
Lisa Bells you can't know.
I mean,
Tell her get up here.
And then he beat Tony Bello, who
I know Tony Bello.
Adonis Stevenson knocked out in 1 round.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Adonis knocked him out in 1 round, 1 punch. So, and then from there, like Checkmate already said, he beat Carlos Takam in a close fight. He beat not Tim Witherspoon, not Tim, the one that was the world champion. He beat Chaz Witherspoon, a nobody. And then beat Derek Charoza, and then Anthony Joshua. Bro,
Charoza was a good one.
You think so? Okay. A British
I don't know. He barely won that.
Punching bag.
Barely won
he won it by split decision. So
he barely won it. That wasn't a clear
right.
Like,
it was a majority decision.
Yeah.
So look, this is all I gotta say, man. If his name was Jonathan Smith, he wouldn't even be on the pound for pound list. People would be like, man, that's nice that he won the heavyweight title from Joshua, someone no one has ever rated. I've never seen Anthony Joshua on a pound for pound list. And I surely didn't see him on one after Andy Ruiz knocked him out.
That's a fact.
So how is Usyk number 1?
Yeah, Joshua was just one of them people.
No,
like
I want somebody to tell me. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna listen.
Maybe people in the comments have.
Please,
Mike, you can go next, Mike. You can go next, Mike.
Joshua is one of those athletes that's just built. He's just built great, but he's just not like that. He's not like that, you know. But he's a good fighter, you know, and it is what it is.
I want to hear how Usyk is pound for pound the best fighter in the world.
I don't see it. I say drop him to number 10 right now, and let's see what's going on.
What you think,
Michael? You're not debating
Go ahead,
that he shouldn't be on the list. He just not be number 1.
Can't be number 1.
Yeah. I don't agree.
Go ahead,
he should be
Nika.
number 1 either. I don't agree he should be number 1 either. I'm not sure how they even really decide this list, to be honest. Like I wish I knew what their
criteria.
He wouldn't be on my list anyway because I don't put heavyweights on pound for pound.
Bingo.
I just don't.
Bingo.
Me personally.
What do you guys think about Francis?
And hold on, Canna Foreman or whatever his name is, Cannabis Foreman. I did say the title fights. I said that he won the Super 6 tournament. He was the undisputed cruiserweight champion. I didn't hold that out. I jumped to the heavyweight and said he beat Anthony Joshua. Didn't he win a title then? So I didn't hold out anything on purpose.
He beat some good cruiserweights. I just
named the guys and I named the fighters. And I think that some people probably didn't like that I named the fighters because then it brought it all home. It brought it home when you actually heard these fighters' name and looked at their record and what they have done. You know what I'm saying? And then you be like, wow, this ain't as
I forgot
impressive
Lisa
as I
Bell.
thought.
She loves Anthony Joshua. I remember.
Okay, and listen, and AJ was the man before Andy Ruiz knocked him out, that's all I said. Was Anthony Joshua wasn't the man.
Lisa, you make sure you pull up when Wilder and AJ fight, so we can bet on Wilder knocking his ass out.
But we all know that
Maybe fighter.
So
does
that's-
not have a chance.
So that's
would you
my
still
thing.
going, Nika? Did you finish with Usyk, Nika?
Well, I agree that he should be on the list, but he should not be number one. But I would really like to know what their criteria is specifically to know why he is number one. They don't explain why the lists are the way they are. They just put the list out, you know. And then they have everybody in a frenzy on why people are numbered the way they are. I think if they gave the people like criteria of how they come up with these lists, then people would not be so angry, or like it wouldn't be so much debating over it.
Okay, is Willie still here? I can't see his picture. Is he still under
Yeah.
Mike Knife?
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
Willie
here,
there.
man.
You want to give your opinion on Usyk?
Because I could tell Checkmate wants
Oh
to
no, I was just saying, like, pound for pound, the scariest dude I could
I'm gonna land my
think
plane.
of is,
I'ma
like,
land my
Francis
plane.
Ngannou.
Francis Ngannou.
the
Ngannou,
UFC
yeah,
fighter.
the UFC fighter.
Come on, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you don't have
He's
any
scared to live in the
opinion
hell
on
out of him.
Usyk as number one pound for pound or on the pound for pound list?
The guy's good. What am I gonna say? What, he's not good?
No, we just
who am I
asking your
to say
opinion.
that he's good
We're
or
just
not good?
asking your opinion. We're going in. Everybody
He's
getting
doing
a turn.
good. The guy's
We're
a
gonna
good
see.
fighter.
Lisa
I
He's not
said
super great,
I think
but
AJ.
Yes, I'm
will,
gonna
I
add
think
Lisa
AJ. I think AJ will knock Francis Ngannou the fuck out. I think he will.
Okay. All right.
you're high.
So let me.
That's crazy.
So let me
Yeah,
go ahead
that's
and get.
not gonna happen.
Lisa Bell to the chat. Everybody was like,
Hey, how's everybody?
What's up,
I
Lisa?
know.
I hear a bad echo. I hear a bad echo, Lisa.
Okay, let me put the headphones on. Hold up.
she's from Jersey, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
I
okay.
remember her a couple of months ago. She was on here. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this Usyk
Do I
real
have to
quick.
not go?
Okay, so this is my thing about it. First of all, he's a heavyweight.
That's my dog.
I'm not going to
Word.
put a heavyweight
I agree.
on pound.
I
not
agree.
going to put a heavyweight on pound for pound. Okay.
I agree.
Secondly, if you're a heavyweight and you're no longer cruiserweight, then guess what? Your undisputed has aged out. Okay, what you did undisputed, you shouldn't account for what you're doing in heavyweight. Okay. And then thirdly, again, the opponents he faced, who are they? Do they talk about them now? Why aren't any of his opponents ever talked about in any type of boxing form as being, some type of great athlete or great boxer or great skills or this and that? You know what I mean? So again, even beyond his cruiserweight, like I said, like Julia said, I echo what he said about his quality of heavyweight fights. He didn't knock any of them out. He struggled
100.
against all of them. He
Word.
struggled, so none of them
Sorry.
were quality wins. And even when you look at what
Not an
AJ,
issue, though, when
and
people
even
walk away.
so even when you look at what AJ did to his face, a slow robotic AJ to his face, you know what I mean? AJ ripped his face up.
All right.
And AJ is
Don't
slow.
disrespect AJ. Don't disrespect.
No.
him.
I'm just giving my soliloquy like you guys gave y'all's. Right?
First of all,
So-
the dude ain't slow and robotic, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, Lisa. Let me
okay.
land my plane, and
No,
then you can grab your
okay.
turn.
Yeah, because a
Okay.
lot of the things that you're saying is just ludicrous.
I understand, but right now we're
It
just going
really
down the
is.
line.
You don't even know
understand.
nothing about boxing, and I
need
can tell you that
need
just
some
by
sound
listening.
effects. Like, with the
Lisa.
sound
You just
effects.
know about American
I
boxing.
need to get my
You don't know
sound
nothing
effects.
about boxing. I know about
Lisa.
boxing.
Lisa,
So-
you can go right after me, Lisa. Let me just finish.
Yeah.
Let me just give my little soliloquy
Okay.
on it, okay? And then you can say everything you want to say. Okay? And so when you put that, yeah, she defended her AJ. We went through this before, Lisa, a couple months ago. But listen, when it comes to Usyk, like I said, Usyk is not a better boxer or have more talent than Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence,
Nope.
Jamel Charlo, you know what I mean, or even Loma or Canelo. So if he don't have better skills
Do
than
he
them,
have
how
better
could he
skills
be?
than Bivol? Do we got
No,
better
hell
skills?
no, he don't have better skills than Bivol. So my point is, how could he be the number one pound for pound boxer if he's struggling with the weak
get him the fuck out
heavyweights he's already fighting? Okay, so that's my point. I made my point. I don't think Usyk should even be on there. If he was still cruiserweight, if you wanted to rank him, that's fine. But heavyweight, he's done. It's propaganda, artificial anointing, and racism that's putting him up there. But go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, so you putting the race card and ain't even about that. That's number one. Number two.
You gotta know what,
okay, let me talk. Number two.
Everybody mute yourselves, please.
Number two, pound for pound list has always been subjective. I have Terrence Bud Crawford. It's my number one, but that's mine. But that doesn't mean anything. It's just subjective. Just like ESPN has their list, Ring Magazine has a little bit of different list. So, everything is subjective. If some people may put women and men together, I choose not to. But I'm just saying, all of it is subjective, and it really doesn't mean anything. And as far as what you're saying about Usyk, you got to understand, like Usyk, everybody that he beat them on their own turf. So people are going to look at that. And a lot of the people that he beat in that tournament were really good cruiserweights. When you're talking about Breedis and you're talking about, what's his name? It was a lot of them. I don't know if he fought Dorter Coast, the guy that was the Cuban guy. No, I don't think he fought him. He fought.
No, he didn't. He didn't fight him.
Breedis beat him.
Right, Gassiev. He fought a lot of good people because, see, the thing is, a lot of people don't talk about the cruiserweight division. The only American that fought in that cruiserweight division the second time was Andrew Tabiti. But they wasn't but they wasn't putting him in there with good competition, and that's why he lost. Yeah, he wasn't fighting good competition. So y'all talk about things from the perspective of, this is just my opinion from what I'm seeing, from the perspective of the lens of U.S. boxing. Boxing is global. It's not just about the U.S. Boxing, they put them they put them titles on, those are world titles. So when I look at a boxer, I don't bring all of that nationalism in it and all of that. And I didn't grow up like that. And I don't like it when I come into online and people spew those narratives, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Because it's not good for the health of boxing.
Hey,
so
Paul,
it's not good for the health of boxing.
Hold on 1 second, Mike.
But Lisa, hold on 1 second, Mike. Do you go to fights where they call these black fighters monkeys? Like, do you go to certain
I don't
fights?
go to fights.
Okay.
I don't go to fights.
Okay, hold on.
I can say what I want to say.
Okay.
That's number one. I'm a grown woman, so I can say what I want to say. That's number one. And number two, this goes both ways. I'm seeing it both ways on here. Like, y'all want to keep on this racial tirade and all that. Like, y'all take the fun out of boxing.
Well, let me say
take the fun out of boxing. It shouldn't even be about all of this.
And
I know that racism is a part of boxing, but
it's a part of it.
It's a part of life. I get that, but you're taking the fun out of it.
Well, Lisa, when I said that I don't think Juan Francisco Estrada is a great fighter, I meant that based upon watching him fight.
And that's your opinion.
Exactly. And even I said he beat a guy from my hometown that I personally know. Beat him, not just beat him up and knocked him out. Name was Dwayne Beeman. But in my opinion, Juan Estrada is an average fighter. He's an above average.
No.
He's a
that dude is the truth.
He's an above average. See, but here's the thing, though, Lisa.
We're going to get to Estrada. We're going to get to him.
Hold on 1 second. But I'm just because look, I'm gonna probably be gone. Check. That's why I'm going ahead and addressing it. The reason I say that is because I've seen him fight guys, and I think that the competition that he fought was average at best. And I said, if he's a great fighter, if he's a great fighter like others say that he is, clearly by ranking him so high, he's only 3 pounds away from fighters that are, to me, on that skill level or better. So he can move up and show me, because when I seen him fight Roman Gonzalez, another guy that is 4-3 in his last 7 fights, including getting knocked out on a stretcher.
Yeah, but he was a bad motherfucker.
You act like,
but I'm just saying.
I'm glad I didn't grow up with people like you.
Well, hold
boxing
on
fans.
a second.
I grew up when it was real. I grew up when it was real. People lost fights and we still respected them. People lost fights and we still respected them. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't say nothing racial. I said a fight that happened now.
I didn't say racial. I didn't say racial. I said, hold up. I said people like you. People like you who tearing the man down, or because he lost the fight and was on a stretcher.
Hold on a second.
Don't you understand that this is the fight business?
It's supposed to be Lisa's turn, Julius, and we supposed to come on.
Don't you understand that this is a fight business? Don't you understand that that's what it's about? I grew up with fighters losing, and we still respected them. We didn't tear them down or troll them or whatever. We built them back up.
People like you, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's racially like. It's like
no.
Like
all I said was
like you is like.
No, I get what she's saying.
You better put some respect on Chocolatito's name.
No, I get what she's saying, but here's the difference. I did not say nothing that did not happen, and I say there's nothing wrong with losing. Everybody will lose, but what we're talking about is something that is subjective, called a pound for pound list. So the only way to rank guys is that you're going to have to put someone above another fighter. Or so what's the way that you put someone above someone? Because you have to break down their career. And that's what I'm doing. I'm breaking down Chocolatito's career. And in his career, in the last 8 fights, he got knocked unconscious in the fight and lost. And he's lost 3 times in 8 fights. Also, Juan Estrada lost to a guy named, Juan Santiago Jr. That was 24-6, an average fighter. Like, that's part of your resume. That, to me, everything is in line and in play when we're trying to decide who is the best. And,
well, you better keep that same energy for all them people you
I'll keep it on
bigging up,
fighter,
and they resumes is trash.
I give it to
so
whoever.
Keep it a buck.
I keep it 1,000. I don't even go a buck. I go 1,000, and I don't care who you are. If I'm gonna say a fact on you,
Tank, you talking about Tank? Tank is a great fighter, but Tank ain't fought nobody really but Pedraza. Let
me tell you something. If Tank get knocked out Saturday night, I'm gonna give it to him too. I'm gonna say he got knocked out by an average fight.
Listen, y'all. We're way off topic. Let's try to keep order because everybody got something to say. I want to hear everybody's opinion, but now we're arguing back and forth like we don't even have this list up there. So
no arguing. No.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm spirited to debate. Is what I'm saying. But because we want to talk about this, and I got a lot of stuff to say about all of these fighters on there, and I want to hear Lisa's opinion. I want to hear everybody's opinion. That's why I wanted to make sure Lisa was done. Lisa, do you have anything else to say about Usyk?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I respect what he's done. I don't know why they put him on the pound for. I still not understanding the whole thing, but. I know he came from cruiser and undisputed and went to heavyweight, but they have Tyson Fury on there. I don't normally put heavyweights on there. You get what I'm saying? So that dig that you threw at AJ was kind of like, I don't put heavyweights on there, but you got to understand if that's that ESPN list, they never put other heavyweights on there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So. But then again, if you follow pound for pound, the heavyweights was always on there. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
This
so
one is
listen.
a
So
magazine.
based on the
Well,
panel, I think
they were considered pound for pound. That's what I meant. Sorry.
because they're always the best, right? So based on this panel,
Right.
all of us, I think is on. I think everybody except for one person said Usyk should be on pound for pound. Who was that?
Well, I
Was
said,
it one?
I don't mind that he's on there. I said I just don't know why they have him at number one. But I said this is why I don't like to debate on lists like this, because I need to know what their criteria is when they're creating this list.
Right.
They don't.
And that's when,
and that's
and
why
that's when
everybody
with
gets
Lisa,
in a frenzy, because they don't really know the actual criteria that's done when they pick these lists. When they make these lists. So it's like,
and they never will, because they always will change. That's why when Lisa was saying don't put race into it, Lisa, if she was on Twitter, she would know how racist the people who write this list are. She would know who Dougie is. She would know who Michael Montero is. She would know who Steve Kim is. She would know.
I
all
know
these
who
people.
all those guys are.
Okay. Let me finish my statement.
saying.
Let me finish my statement, please. But I have dialogue with these people constantly, so I know how warped their minds are. I know how warped their mind is, and I know how they don't give people credit. I know how they had this war with Al Heyman because Bob Arum, they're pretty much a propaganda they bring for Bob Arum. I'm not a racist at all.
And why is that our business? And why is that our business?
Because you said about this list. We're talking about this list. So if these people, first of all,
no, I'm talking about they war with Al Heyman. That's none of our business.
Okay, but my point is this: if they're going to automatically deduct his fighters because of their allegiance with Oscar, because it's owned by Oscar De La Hoya, and of course they're the propaganda arm of Top Rank. So my whole thing is this propaganda list that they put together, right? What it does is it influenced the judges, it influenced the fans, it influenced the referees, and it influenced the sponsors. So therefore, these lists either it can make or break your career based on perception. So if you automatically somebody put you as perception, you're going to get these. The judges are going to view you different. The ref is going to view you different. The fans are going to view you different. Your pay scale is going to be viewed different. Understand what I'm saying? So they know what they're doing. So because it's subjective, this is the reason why I don't think it should even be printed. I think it should not even be a part of boxing, because it's basically who's your favorite fighter list. And so when you put these out here and they actually argue this point and they take this stuff into fights and how they determine who's going to get the next title shot and so forth, this is why these lists are horrible for boxing.
Can I say one thing? Can I make one? Nika, can I make one comment about Steve Kim and Dougie Fisher? I first came into contact with them guys about 25 years ago almost. And I was real young. And they had a site called maxboxing.com. And back in that day, they used to get into arguments with Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather would not give them interviews or whatever. And don't get me wrong, Dougie is also a great track guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a borderline decent track coach. If you know about Dougie Fisher and his family, his daughters, he also has helped out at UCLA, USC. So anything that I'm going to say from them guys is going to come from years of knowing them. And I will say this more about Steve Kim than Dougie Fisher. Steve Kim is a guy with Mario Lopez that do racial jokes and racial things and got fired by ESPN. So he has a racial history. So anybody that questions anything about a guy with a racial history, Lisa, I give it a little bit of credibility because he has a history of racial things. And we know from basketball when it comes to contracts that sometimes the things that the media say or speak about people and athletes do carry when it comes to the negotiating table. And yeah, they said Steve Kim on Jason Whitlock's show, The Blaze. Yeah, he talk racial things every day. But listen, we just trying to break down the list. But I do understand where Checkmate is coming from knowing them guys over 25 years. This ain't just boxing. I know them guys outside of boxing, and I'm just
Right.
saying. You get what I'm saying?
No, I know who they are. I just don't follow them. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sorry. Is this the only list that you guys have a problem with because it's
no, I don't. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Magazine, so
hey, but I mean, hey, but here's the thing, though, Nika. I think that everybody got their opinion. The only problem that I had is that I never could understand why it took Jermell Charlo so long to get in the pound for pound list, and that was my thing. And to be honest with you, a lot of the guys that are up there, I don't know how they got there. And then some of them, I don't know why they rank so high. And it's like I said earlier, I think, especially with a guy like Usyk and Lomachenko, I think that their amateur career, I mean, this is the only way I can see why you would have them ranked. It would be that you brought the amateur and put it into the professional, because amateur, Usyk and Lomachenko got the best amateur career of everybody that's on that list. Earl Spence would be like number 3. So, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why they ranked them guys so high. Because I don't think Lomachenko had a big win in like 4 years.
Yeah, I just think
they do the same thing in the UFC. It's just promotion.
They do the same thing in UFC? Okay.
That Nakatani win was a good win to me.
You think so?
Because there's no steady criteria for how these lists are made. If we knew, like, okay, system, you win when you get like 10 points when you win a title or something like that, it'd be easier to debate. But it's like, you know, it's more of like everybody's opinion, really.
Lisa, what part of New Jersey you from?
Newark.
Yeah, the only reason I asked that is because I always had a place in my heart for my man Rocky Lockridge.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
You know what I'm saying? Because Rocky, and it was a couple Muhammad. Those guys came from out of Newark, and Newark was a fighting town at one time, man. You know what I'm saying?
Which Muhammad?
Matthew.
Oh, I thought Matthew Saad Muhammad was from Philly.
Yeah, but he fought out of Newark, though. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kwame was from Camden, right?
Camden. Yeah, he was from Camden. Yeah. So now I got Camden mixed up with Newark.
Are we all New Yorkers?
But yeah.
Oh, they're ways apart.
Yeah.
So we're all New Yorkers here? This is funny.
Oh, no. I'm from North Carolina, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's, you know, but everybody, I think with, you know, for me, I just grew up seeing just fighters from all over, like, you know, like Roberto Duran and,
right.
You know, he was that guy, you know.
Chavez.
Yeah, I never looked at, like, everybody always looked at, like, everybody, like, when the heavyweights kind of stopped being in America, like when the Klitschko's reign, it was like people would blame the Klitschko's but I never did that. I just respected Klitschko and his the brothers for who they were.
Yeah.
You know, and I respected them for their reigns. I just was never like that. Like I feel like you know, the UK has always stayed up all hours in the middle of the night, in the morning to support US fighters. So I always felt like that as American that I could be a good sport and start supporting, you know what I mean?
But Lisa, that's the new age fans. That's the new age fans.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is it's about good. That's what I call good sportsmanship.
Right. But
It's called
what I'm
That
telling
was a
you,
lot of
reciprocity. Now,
right?
you know, now so I'm older, so I don't go by what a lot of people do online. You know what I mean? I'm my own person, and we all are, but I can't allow all of these bickering and back and forth in politics to affect my love for the sport. Because at one time I had a black like circle, I was like blackout. 'Cause I was like, I'm sick of boxing.
I feel you, man, because we talked about this on Friday night right here. And I told Nika how I was a real Julio Cesar Chavez fan, but I was also a Pernell Whitaker fan. And I told her
Hmm.
that I can remember when he used to fight, how he used to come to the ring with the song Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. And I was like, man, I was cheering for the guy. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be a Mexican. He was just a good fighter, just like Felix Trinidad. Like, who didn't like Felix Trinidad or Fernando Vargas? But the way that the boxing is now, especially Twitter boxing, you can't root for Vargas, or you can't root for Trinidad unless you're a Mexican, or if you're this fighter, that if you're Mexican, or if you're Puerto Rican, or if you're Dominican. You get what I'm saying? And that ain't how I like boxing. I like
Me
to
neither.
get
Yeah.
I hate
I
that.
want to
I
root
hate
with who I want
Right.
to root for.
exactly.
And
That's
this why
that's why I unplugged from the matrix
Okay.
and stopped
Okay.
focusing on the
and this why I
negativity.
rock with y'all. I rock with y'all because I'm not biased like that. Like I listen, I like Loma. I was just telling Checkmate. Like I think Loma is better. I'm sorry, I just think so. But at the end of the day, I'ma support I'ma support black fighters. I'ma support certain people of certain ethnicities. I'ma support fighters from the Caribbean. Like I'm just gonna do that because that's where I'm from. And I don't get mad at Mexicans for supporting Canelo.
And you
Just
have
don't
the
call my
right
people
to.
monkey when you at the fight. Don't call my people monkeys when you at the fight, beloved. Because then I have a problem with that. You know,
Right.
that's just
Okay,
what it is.
Lisa. All right, Lisa. So since we all done with Usyk, you want to give your opinion on Terrence Crawford and where you think he may belong on the list?
Oh, I had said earlier, I had Bud as my Bud has
The
been
number
my
one.
number one pound for pound fighter for a long time. You know,
Shit.
I
That's
just
a
feel
good
that Bud
list.
is, I just feel that Bud is, he's knocked out pretty much his last several opponents. Stopped them or whatever, TKO or KO, however you want to call it. Bud Crawford is a multi-weight, 3 division champion, 2-time ring lineal champion. Him, what else? He's former undisputed. He has a lot of accolades, Bud Crawford.
Three division champ, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to
He
go
ain't
on
no
Baby Bird?
pushover, that's for sure.
I agree with what you just said. That's why I feel like the pound for pound list should be fighters who have those accolades in different weight classes, and like it, because the way that this is why people get mad. Like if you like Julius, he doesn't like that someone like Inoue, like the small weighters are like weight classes are in
Mm-hmm.
these types of lists. Like I feel like a pound for pound list truly honestly should be like a list with just each weight division, so we won't have these types of debates, because
And then
I
I
feel
feel
like
you, Nika,
Terrence
but
should be
like
number one. For me, Terrence should be number one. Um, with all the accolades and all the everything that Lisa listed. Um, so yeah, that's why and that's what I think that Ring Magazine kind of goes with on this list for him, you know. But I don't understand why Usyk was above him like that. I want to know why. What was their criteria to put Usyk as number one over
Um,
Crawford? Because Crawford's been on one
I
of their
want to
lists
say it, but
forever.
Lisa don't want to hear the words.
No, you're saying it's racial. I don't think it's race. I don't think it has anything
Well,
to do with race. I really don't,
it's
because if
his
that's the case,
opinion.
it would have been somebody else would have been on top of
Crawford a long time ago, and because he's been number one on the list for a very long time.
I think it's something else too. I think it's something that we haven't said, but it could be incompetence. Because sometimes we feel that when we see a person that is on TV and or on the radio or on the internet that's getting paid for particular sports that they covering, a lot of times those people are more reporters than they are actual experts of the sport. So a lot of times they don't really know what they're looking at. They just go by W and L. You get what I'm saying?
No, but
So
you
a
see,
lot-
this is what I'm saying. Like the list should be like for me, either multi-weight champion, skill set, and opposition. But these lists are all over the place. So you can
Yeah,
you can
and-
make
and-
you can
Right.
make an argument for
But-
anything if you
but-
want to on any of these lists because
but-
they don't have a set criteria for it.
But
So-
let me say this too, Nika. I don't have a problem with small fighters being on my pound for pound list because I had
I don't believe that.
no, I had Ricardo Lopez up there at one point in time, and I also had Mark Too Sharp Johnson on that list at one time. And if anyone know boxing, Lopez was a 108 pounder, and Too Sharp won from 112 to 118 all the way to 122. But the reason that I gave those guys credit and I don't give Inoue and Estrada as much is because they had opponents that you could see that could fight, that could push them to being at the top of a pound for pound list. Like my buddy that Estrada beat, he don't deserve to be in anybody top 10. But a lot of those guys have 25 and 30 fights of fighters like that, like records of 10 and 50. And then you look up and they have this dynamite record of 33-0 with 29 knockouts. That's why the UFC get respect, because it's not as many fighters. So you have to fight everybody and you have to fight the top of the line. In boxing, it's a whole lot of building your record up, and you're looking the part, and you really ain't the part. That's why I say what I say.
So what
Willie want to say something
and
now.
this is what I say, right?
Willie want to say something now, huh?
Yeah, think about UFC.
What you think
is,
about the
like,
Crawford
usually-
situation?
I think that Bud Crawford, I would personally rate Bud Crawford around 3 or 4, with the potential of being number 1 if he knocks off Errol Spence, because he has done it the right way as far as went through the weight classes. He hasn't had the opponents yet to me to make him an all-time great. But what he is, though, is he's a dominant champion. And to me, that go for the pound for pound list because he's dominant, meaning he's knocking everybody out. He ain't winning close decisions. He knocking people out. He putting them to sleep. But the 140 pound, like I say, undisputed is not the same, because there are some weight classes, like if he become undisputed at welterweight, he went through the great Errol Spence. But at 140, he went through Julius Indigo.
Poster was a good win.
Victor Poster was an average good win. It was a good win. But he didn't really have the names. You get what I'm saying? And it ain't his fault. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but-
it's not his
It's not his
fault.
fault.
That
But I
if
would-
he had to
right.
win these
But-
classes for the people that he fought, that's
Right.
not on him.
That's why I say he
y'all
ranked
hold
high.
that against him, and that's
But
don't make
but
no
he
sense
has
me.
to fight Errol Spence though. That's
and
on
this
him.
is why I
That's
tell
on
y'all,
both guys.
To me,
All right.
I
Guys
never
like
argue
that
pound
should go
for pound
into the
list
UFC.
because, and
Huh?
this is why I feel like this is why I don't argue pound for pound list, because I feel like they all subjective. I only make a couple points. Like I can't. You listen. It's a couple that I disagree with. Like for instance, you can't name 10 fighters better than Shakur, even though he a bozo. You can't name 10 fighters better than him.
Right.
You can't. And then this point too. Hold on. if you're gonna put Estrada, you gotta have chocolate. You gotta have Chocolatito in there.
Oh my
And
God.
you have to. He
Oh my
come
God,
on, yo.
brother.
He won the
Please.
fucking fight. He won the
Please
fucking
stop
fight.
it.
And then he dominated. You gotta put him in there if
Okay.
you gonna put Estrada.
All right.
All right, boy, wait,
And then
Come on, wait,
Cool
Jules.
Boy
Let
Steph.
him roll, Jules.
Hold on.
I still want to hear what you
and
come
then,
on Crawford.
yeah, and then Cool Boy
Mike.
Steph, he's missing. And then my opinion on Crawford, I think Crawford and Spence they're gonna figure it out who's the number one pound for pound. So I'm not even worried about them two. Yes, I think Spence is going to win, but I think Crawford is right there. Crawford is a hell of a fighter. Like, I take nothing away from him. I just think Spence has fought the better competition at 147, which is not Crawford's fault. And I think when Crawford knocked out Porter, which was I predicted he was going to knock him out, and I think it's a great win. I think it's a great win by him doing that. But I also think Porter. I mean, when Bud knocked Porter out, but I think Porter was on his way out the door, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. He was on his way out the door.
Yeah, but it
still was a great win. It was a great win, and that's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but
you,
it's like the PBC don't want it. It's like they don't want to make these fights. They didn't want to. It's like every time Bud, like he could never get the fights with any of those guys. And I'm not even mentioning Spence. I'm just talking about the other guys.
Lisa, what you saying?
They always blocking big fights. They did it with Wilder and AJ.
Nah, I disagree on that one. Eddie Hearn.
Yes, they did.
Eddie Hearn went on record admitting.
Come on, y'all. Let's try to keep some type of order.
I know the story. I know the story.
What was the story?
They always blocking big fights.
Listen, guys. We wouldn't get to all of that. You guys, let's try to at least get everybody's opinion, and then
I don't care what y'all say. I follow that story.
So Willie, your opinion on Terrence Crawford on the pound for pound, where he's located on Ring's list.
There we go. No, I was saying, like, a lot of these fighters, they probably could go easily into the UFC and make a good career, but some of the fights
we're talking about
pound
for pound.
Like, they just.
But what do you think about Crawford on this?
No, let him make a point, bro, because he didn't get a chance to talk. So let him make a point about UFC. Let him make that point.
I'm saying a lot of the fighters that are like on the list could go to the UFC, but there's some of them that are like not great.
So let me ask you this then, Willie. So you're saying that UFC fighters are better than boxers? Is that what you're saying?
No. No, as boxers are a specialized group of fighters, and it's like they're specialized in one thing, and that they're exceptional at that. I'm not saying the UFC fighters are better than boxers at all.
Okay.
But I mean,
imagine. Look at this, y'all. Imagine Bud in the UFC with his wrestling. Bud would be a beast in that UFC shit for real. He'd be a monster.
I don't know, bro. Them guys are real world class wrestlers now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's don't fool him like James Toney.
Have you seen Crawford's kids, his boys?
Crawford boys. But Crawford, a 35-year-old man. I love him, but keep him away from them guys wrestling and kicking his leg. Keep him away from them guys, man. Them guys are hurting. And if they get in a boxing ring, Bud Crawford will hurt them.
Okay, so let me give my opinion on the Crawford. Are you done? You can go ahead, Willie, if you have something else to say.
No, I mean, like, I'm 100%. The dude was like 100% correct. Keep them fucking in his square and out of his square.
Absolutely.
Okay, so all right, my thing on Terrence Crawford, I actually agree with what Julius said. I can't rate Terrence Crawford number one. This is the reason being. I acknowledge him for what he did and being a great champion and dominating the way he's done and winning undisputed. However, right now there's Errol Spence, who's had Terrence Crawford has had 5 fights or was six fights at 147. Earl Spence has been a dominant at 147. He has a better, he's fought better competition, and you people give Crawford credit for his Porter's win. Just like Mike said, Porter was on his way out the door, and then also when Earl fought him, Earl took a belt from him. Okay. In addition, in a dominant fashion, Earl also broke 2 eye sockets of 2 champs. So therefore, that puts Spence currently above Crawford and pound
Did he
for
knock
pound.
out? Did he knock out Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia? Like, yo, you guys pick and choose. Like, what's that the accolade bar for winning fights?
Let me
Crawford has knocked out almost all his
but y'all
opponents.
y'all gotta let me get mine out, and then you can jump all over me, throw rocks at me if you like.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So listen. So this is the reason why I say, listen. At some point, your what you did in another weight class has to grandfather out. It has to age out. You can't say, oh, you know what I mean. What's the one dip pound for pound? When you're fighting this weight, it's about what you did with this weight. There's not a person alive who's not going to say right now Earl Spence has got the #1 ranking for welterweight. Now, between the two, they'll make that decision when you'll see who comes out on top when they fight. We all got our opinions, but that's irrelevant at this particular point. So I'm not going to argue that. But right now, if you know that Earl Spence has dominated these 3 chances to get these 3 belts knocked out again, every belt he's got, he's dominated pretty much, and of course he broke 2 eye sockets. It's impossible if Spence is the #1 welterweight at this point to put Crawford ahead of him. So that's the reason why, like I said, I can't agree with where they have him right now, because I have Spence within that top 2 right now, and y'all gonna be surprised who my #1 gonna be. Okay, so Inoue, Willie, you want to start with Inoue?
I don't want to go through this whole list because
yeah, bro. We ain't gonna be able to break down all these fighters. It's already.
I thought y'all was going. Okay, well, let me get my opinion on Inoue, since y'all don't want to break everybody down. This is the only last one I'll break down. First of all,
before you finish, Bud, real quick, I just gotta say, like, listen, I also agree that Errol's going. I agree Errol's going to win the fight, but not to take anything away from Bud, it's not his fault he couldn't get the big fights at 147, because Al Heyman didn't want any of those belts to go over there to him. So of course he's not going to let Bud get the opportunity to fight him. That's just the fact.
No, you see, like this. Sorry to interrupt, but this is what I thought a pound for pound list was, and my for what Cannabis for Men is commented here. I thought it was like different weight classes that you have dominated. Right. That's why that's what
and skill set
like, so that's why if it goes that way, then to be honest, then Errol Spence shouldn't even be on here. There's a couple of people who shouldn't be on here because they didn't.
Right.
Spence only been on 147 dominating.
But GGG was #1 pound for pound. He's only been at 160 his entire career.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I thought.
So let's do it like this, right?
List was a fluctuation in weight classes, skill set, and dominant. But it's not like
I agree with that way.
Let's do it like this. Let's look at it like this. Usyk and Bud, same weight class. Let's not look at weight classes, because that's what pound for pound is supposed to be. Who wins out of Usyk and Bud?
That's it.
Same skill
set.
That's
what it comes
no
down
weight.
to.
Who wins?
That's what it comes down to.
Everybody vote on that. Who wins?
That's why Inoue is not in there.
Who said? Hold on. Who's going to win? Michael, who wins? Usyk or Bud? No weight. In your opinion, of course.
For a skill class, I think Bud.
Bud.
Okay.
All right. Let me shoot in it. All right. Let me shoot in here, brother. Okay. I know you want to shoot on this, but I just got to get this little bit of point out, and that's the thing about Al Heyman not making fights. And I'm gonna be 1 minute, 2 minutes. My thing is this right here, brother. And and this is the same thing that I had said to Ronnie Boy Fresh, and I'm not gonna make any bones about this. I shake pom-poms for black businesses. That's just me. I believe in supporting black businesses. But I also believe in judging. I believe in judging businesses according to what they do. And I know that the number one de facto thing is that Al Haymon doesn't talk. He does not make any statements. So anybody can say anything about the PBC or the PBC brand, and it never get, like, for example, Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn make comments and they make statements, and you can only take it as it's the truth because no one will come back and say, hey, it was this, it was that. Al Haymon does none of that. And I think a lot of fighters hide behind.
I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta tell my daughter good night. I'll be right back. I gotta tell my
okay. I think that a lot of fighters hide behind Al Haymon not talking. So when a fight is thrown out there, a guy will say something, will say, oh, well, this or that, but they won't say, oh, Al Haymon hurt that fight, because Al Haymon will let these guys fight anybody. He let Ruiz go over there and fight AJ. He let John Molina go and fight Bud Crawford on a top ranked card. So this guy he also allowed Josito Lopez fight Canelo. So he doesn't, and Amir Khan, he doesn't mind his guys going get paid. That stuff that he won't make fights is untrue. It's untrue. Al Haymon doesn't care. And here's another thing. Even if he stopped the fight, this is my last statement, Lisa, and then you can shoot. That's why I'm going ahead and talk, because if I let you talk, I ain't going to get it out. I'm going to let you shoot on this after I say this. It's easy to throw, and this is where I'm going to throw race. The black guy doesn't talk, been sued by Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum because he had the top fighters. This ain't nothing that I'm making up. This was an actual lawsuit that they sued this guy for a monopoly. They sued him and lost. And they were the ones that were dealing with Daniel Kinahan, a reputed murderer and drug dealer. Those guys. Now, go ahead, shoot all day.
I never heard nothing about. Okay, so where's your proof up to Eddie Hearn?
That is proof. Eddie Hearn was a part of that lawsuit. It was Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum, and also Kathy Duva. It was a class action lawsuit with all those promoters. Then they sued Al Haymon and PBC, saying that they were paying fighters too much to fight and that they was causing a monopoly because they was making them have to pay their fighters more than what they wanted to do. And this not Julius making this up. You can Google this.
Okay. Oh, because see, at that time Eddie wasn't over here, so that's why I was confused. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Hey Lisa, have you seen the email from Golden Boy calling Al Haymon a nigger?
Yeah, I know all about that. Yeah.
So also, too, I want you to tell you. I want to tell you this about Eddie Hearn. Eddie and Barry Hearn have been talked about in England and made statements about they want fighters to fight for slave contracts.
Well, Barry Hearn said he was a slave trader and he used to get slave contracts. And
that's
now
not what he said.
Let me finish.
I heard what he said.
I made a video on it, so I got the video. I can send it. He said back when I was promoting, he said we were slave traders. He said,
he did not say a slave trader. You're taking it out of context.
Let me send you the video, Nika, and you can post it.
Oh my God.
I remember him saying that they were slave contracts, but now what he said was in poor taste. I didn't like it. I thought it was horrible what he said. It was in definitely poor taste, but he did not say it like that. He did not say he was a slave trader.
Well, he's about to send me. I'm pretty sure he's about to send me a video.
I don't support race soldiers. That's me. I'm not a supporter of race soldiers.
Right.
And Eddie and
Look,
Barry.
I don't care about none of
I
these
fight against it.
promoters. Okay? I don't care about Barry, Eddie, Al, none of them. Bob, Fish Eyes, Golden Boy, none of them. So let me just get that straight. I'm not here to put a cape on for them and to fight for them. If they want to fight amongst each other, that's their business.
You know what?
They got the fans fighting amongst each other.
Yeah, I cannot stand the promotional companies
I can't
back and forth
stand
stuff. I just want to see fights.
people.
I don't care.
Yeah, people talking about. We didn't grow up like that. The only promoter we talk mess about was Don King.
Don King.
Because Don
Yeah,
King,
he
but
was
Don
Robert
King was
Blunt.
that dude though. He was that dude though.
We used to fight. Now people fucking kill each other. Whatever happened to fucking a good fight?
Hey, look.
I don't know.
When Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn start dealing with Daniel Canahan, this whole game changed. Daniel Canahan is on video being a part of an actual murder that happened during a weigh-in.
I'm gonna let Lisa
you know what I'm saying?
defend herself because Cozy says Lisa immediately attacked the PBC. Now she don't care about none of it. We gotta keep it consistent. She wasn't attacking the PBC. I don't really know.
I never attack. First of all, I never attacked the PBC. And what I say, you know what I mean? Like, I never attacked the PBC. Like, all I said was they don't make the big fights. They haven't did it with the Bud and the other one.
How about that fight last Saturday?
With
Charlo and Castaño.
Oh yeah, that was a great fight. Yeah.
Great fight.
And how about Fundora and Lubin?
Great fight.
That's all PBC put on the best fights because they got the best fighters. But I feel you.
Julius, hold on. Top Rank has two of the best matchmakers in the history of boxing.
Facts.
Bruce Trampler is a beast.
Facts.
Yeah, Bruce Trampler also invented the MBF list.
Yeah.
But he's a beast. You know how to build a fighter.
Oh, yeah, by keeping him away from black fighters. He built the MBF list, no black fighters list. I made a video on it. Let's see.
Build him up.
Well, that comment came from a white guy that's actually the promoter for Boots Ennis.
Right.
He came on and said, right. He came on. Cameron Duncan is his name. He used to be a big guy, but he got cancer. He's small now. But Cameron Duncan is the one that came on, national, radio, TV, and the internet, and said that Bob Arum and Bruce Trampler and those guys had a no black fighter list. And he said, I don't want to do it to these guys, but he went on and did it anyway. When somebody say, I don't want to do it, they about to do it.
Well,
I heard about that.
My bad. Go ahead, Lisa. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was doing something. I was saying, as far as responding to the guy in the chat. No, I said that, but I was saying that like when it came to like far as Bud trying to fight and I'm putting Spence to the side, like with the exception of Porter. It was like he could never get these fights. So
Facts.
It was like it's like you gotta kowtow to them and do what they say, or
no.
It was them lawsuits.
Can I finish talking?
I don't think it was the lawsuit.
Can I finish talking? It was like you gotta be. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, brothers. It's like you gotta be like signed to them, or you know what I mean. That's all I'm saying. Or like, look, I don't care about all of that. Look, different promoters should be able to fight with different promoters. It's business. It's never personal. Because you know what? Guess what? I don't agree with some of the things that has been done to Al Heyman, But guess what? This is a seedy, shady business.
Mhm.
So when it come to money, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're dealing with a bunch of snakes. So
I've been
are they
tagged
gonna make
with the videos to play.
oh, okay. So are they gonna make the best fights? Or are we gonna have to sit and watch them fight?
I
Or are they
agree.
gonna make the best fights for the fans?
Yeah.
Oh,
Word.
okay, the thing
Yeah.
about it is, Spence told Bud from
That's
the
the thing. It's
beginning that he was
motors.
going to get all the belts on the PBC side, then fight him last for Undisputed. So why would you guys want him to ruin his plan? Because you guys wanted Bud, who only had 5 fights at
I
147,
didn't.
to fight him.
That's not what I said. I said, look, I don't care what none of them
You
said.
you
I
know how
said, did you hear what I said? I said, I'm gonna put
said, why they
Spence
ain't
to
make
the
him?
side. I said, why couldn't
Okay.
he fight Thurman? Why couldn't he fight
But Thurman didn't want to
Porter
fight.
Earl? Okay,
I would
okay.
love to
So
yeah,
see
there's
him.
always a okay. He
Yeah,
could have fought
Thurman
Danny.
didn't want to
There
fight
was
Bud.
okay.
He was
Okay,
afraid.
there was offers sent to Danny. You get what I'm saying? Like,
fact. That's a
Y'all ready
fact.
for
That's a
this
okay,
fact.
video?
so
That's a fact.
yeah,
Let me make
yeah.
one point before they play the video, right?
Mhm.
I think Earl is like that's like Heyman's pit bull. He sent him over there when he want to go get the belts from the other side. He sent Spence to go get that belt from Brooks, and he gonna send him to go get that WBO from Terrence. I think that's
Terrence
just
gonna sign
Al.
with
I
PBC.
think Al. Nah, don't do that. I think Al
He's going to.
I think he believe in Earl more than the other.
How do
fighters
you
over
know?
there.
Okay, let me ask you this question, sister. You just said that Bud never got any of those fights against them PBC fighters, right?
Yeah.
So, and he was not fighting with PBC. Right now, he is a free agent. And you
Right.
talk about the biggest fight in boxing. And this guy's a free agent. He's going to sign a 1 or 2 fight deal the same way Canelo did with Eddie and the same way Canelo did with PBC to get this
Yeah.
fight. So
Gotcha.
you're gonna
Yeah.
sign with it, get this big fight. And another thing, I think it was some business going on why they didn't get Bud them fights. Because they knew eventually if Bud wanted them belts, he was gonna come over. And Bob Arum put his foot in his mouth because he said so many times that I lost so much money from Bud. And you know, it's like if a guy looking at a girl and the girl having issues with their boyfriend, that guy might think I got a chance at her because that guy don't he's not treating her right. So eventually I might get my shot. That's what I think happened.
That's a good point.
Debut for Scamming Eddie.
Okay.
That's the politics of fighting. It is what it is. It's not just going to happen. And it's.
Run your mouth to fight the champ when you gotta be in some real fights, baby. Who you fought, baby? Who you fought?
Look at that race.
Well, let me tell you now. Well, you ain't fighting me. He told me, you know that Wilder, he's motherfucker. Okay. Why you don't want to take $4 million, baby?
Are you interested in trying to conquer America? No. All these years, the UK fighters had to go to America. Everyone had to spend a heap of money to go to Vegas. We can do it in London around Wembley.
Nah, I agree, AJ.
It's local. We're staying right here. We're staying right here.
When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders.
But the better man won. Respect to Andy. And I move forward.
Slave drivers, not traders. Slave drivers.
What you're talking about? Radio Raheem. And bear this in mind that Matchroom Sport
To
has
this
a
day.
fight-by-fight arrangement with Dylan White. Isn't that weird? Why do we have... He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders. We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss. The pendulum has swung. Now I have to say, Mr. Dylan White. I have to be respectful. Because really, I don't think he's had a fair crack at the whip with those guys.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Excuse me, that's Barry Hearn, Eddie's dad.
If anybody don't
Excuse me,
understand
Lisa?
that, then God be with him. Go look up the
I
history.
know who it is.
What's your name? And I move forward now and see what's next with the boss man. He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear.
I
When
know
was
pound for
running
pound
boxing, it was
boxing
much
before.
easier. We were slave traders.
What's your name?
We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss. The boss man.
She knew he tested positive every 36 hours.
Okay. So did you hear slave trader? Yes or no, Lisa? Did you hear slave trader and slave contracts? Yes or no?
I heard slave contract and slave driver. It sounds
No,
like.
he
You
said
didn't hear
trader.
slave trader. Play it. Just go to that part. Play it just for Lisa. Just go to the part where he say slave trader. Just play that part. Nika,
It
since
makes
you
no
didn't hear that part.
sense. It
Okay,
makes no
just play
sense.
that
How
part.
could he
You gotta
be a
listen
slave
though.
trader?
Okay, well, just let him say it.
I
But you
heard
can't
it.
talk
You're
over
not
it.
understanding the
You didn't
accent.
hear it. You said he said slave driver. He said slave trader, and he said it. I said it three. He said it 3 times in the video. You didn't catch it. Play that part,
You're
please,
not.
again. Just that part.
But it makes no sense.
Okay, just play that part, Nika, and let her make sense of it.
Yeah.
It
Oh my
really
God.
makes no sense. Sounded like he said slave driver. Either way, I didn't
Okay.
like what he said.
Okay, I just want you to listen to that part. You know, everybody, can we kind of just listen to it? Go to that part, and
Run
then
your
we can talk
mouth
about
to
it.
fight the chance. Well, you gotta be in some real fights, baby. Who you fought, baby?
Oh, definitely pound for pound boxing report.
Well, you ain't fighting me. He told me, you know that Wilder, these motherfuckers. Why you don't want to take $4 million, baby?
But are you interested in trying to conquer America? No. All these years, the UK folks had to go to America. Everyone had to spend a heap of money to go to Vegas. We can do it in London, around Wembley, Cardiff. It's local. We're staying right here.
I ain't gonna hold you. AJ and Wilder in Brooklyn.
Okay, come on, come on, y'all.
Let's get a man one. Respect to Andy. And I move forward now, see what's next with the boss man.
Not everybody knows what you're talking about. Radio
What happened,
Raheem.
Mike?
And bear this in mind that Matchroom Sport have a fight-by-fight arrangement with Dylan White. Isn't that weird? Why do we have... He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders. We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss.
He said
Slave
driver.
trader.
The pendulum has swung. Now I have to say, Mr. Dylan White. I have to be respectful.
No way!
Because really,
Either one sound fucked up.
I don't think he's had a fair
Yeah.
crack at the whip with those guys.
That's too fucked up.
If anybody don't understand
That's
that, then
gotta
God
be
be with them.
dumped
Go
over.
look up the history.
What's your name?
And I move forward now and see what's next with the boss man. He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders.
What's your name?
We had these
Yeah,
guys and they were working.
slave driver.
It
Okay.
does say it does
It's
sound like
fucked
he's saying
up either
driver and
He
tra-
said
but
slave trader.
No, when I heard it the second time, it does sound like driver too, but either one is bad, so it doesn't matter.
Man, that guy's a race soldier, a bona fide race soldier. And I
So
just
this
don't even
is-
give him no time of the day, man.
Right. So when you talk, that's Eddie Hearn's dad. That's Barry Hearns. That's the owner of Matchroom.
And
Okay.
and I also heard Eddie Hearn come up there with the accent thing and come on, y'all, and come on, man. That's race soldier. That's 101 right there. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't
Only thing-
know we were gonna go there tonight, but come on, man.
Hey.
We don't even have to talk about them race soldiers no more.
Only thing he was missing was Jive Turkey.
Yeah,
You know
that
what
was
I mean?
that's the worst,
I
man.
was wait. Only thing he missed was say my man Jive Turkey.
That's
mean,
the
give me
worst
some
right there,
turkey.
bro.
Because
That's the worst
you-
right there, man.
He was,
Oh
he
my
was being
God.
very stereotypic in that. So again,
That's pitiful.
this is what they think of you, and this is what they think of their fighters.
Jesus.
This is what it is.
Boy, that sound like some good old 1901, Jim Crow stuff right there. That's hey, man, that's racism 101.
Nah,
It
Another
sounded bad
thing,
no matter way.
it sounded bad.
well, another
Sound
thing
Eddie-
what I
that's
noticed
Eddie
what
Hearn's
you
dad.
did in that video, you Well, you know, I know how these videos are for America.
Huh?
That was still racism. Even if he chopped it up, like what was the guy name?
No, when AJ was in the ring,
the,
when AJ was in the ring and he was saying about making
Oh, I
fights in the UK.
Yeah, I didn't have a
and then you
problem with
point-
AJ in the ring.
No, but you put in there F the US, F America.
No, I didn't
Like,
put
that. Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
Because basically what he was saying is when they turned down the 50 million 50-50 from Wilder, said we don't need America. Pretty much, we don't need America. We stand right here.
But
we
he
don't
didn't say
need
fuck
America.
America, so you did.
No.
Yeah,
I
he
put
didn't
that
say
on the
that.
thing.
was just
Obviously, he
saying,
didn't
like,
say
you know-
that. I put that on there. I put
Yeah, I
that on
know,
there.
so
He didn't
Yeah,
say that word.
but
But that's basically what he was saying. We don't give a hell. What the hell with America?
Hey, look,
I mean,
I'm gonna be
respectfully,
honest.
though,
I don't care if AJ said
a
that.
bigger fight. Wilder AJ is a bigger fight in London than in
Hey,
Vegas.
hey, Mike,
It's a
hold
bigger
on a
fight.
second. I
It's a
don't
bigger
care.
fight.
I don't care if AJ said it. AJ can say it. It wouldn't be no problem to me if he said
I'll
F
go to London for
America.
that.
Who
I'll fly to
cares?
London for that,
Who
but-
cares about him saying that? But I'm talking about them race soldiers. That's what I'm talking about. Because there is 100% to me now no coming back from that type of racism, because that's not he misspoke this. You know what I'm saying? That's inbred. That's in them. It's like Joe Rogan. Remember, Joe Rogan has said the word nigga hundreds of times, and because they put it in, they said it was black people saying, "Oh, but the way that she put it together, him saying it so much." No, he was actually saying it. Like you can't put Checkmate can't put that together if they don't do it.
So
that's
also
racist.
understand. He was,
You know what I'm saying?
He called Wilder. He was just saying, "Oh, he's just an Alabama boy. Where he gonna
That's
get $50
exactly
million
what he
from?"
said. I remember
he said it. He said, "Where he gonna just email? Where he going? Look, we gotta check the funds." So now you're saying that Al Heyman, who's put together the biggest fights ever, Wilder's just an Alabama boy. You know what I mean? So when they said that, this is my animosity towards Eddie Hearn. I think he's a brilliant. He's a brilliant promoter as far as a mouthpiece for himself. He's got trash fighters, but he's a brilliant spokesperson. But what the person who wants to come over here and say his aim is to put PBC out of business, to put Showtime out of business. Said they was going to close down in 12 months. And if Wilder does, and if Charlo does not come over to the zone, there will be no 160 fights for him. So Lisa, when you're talking about these people, you saying PBB is stopping fights. Listen, the zone has all the top 160 fighters except for Charlo, and Eddie Hearn has stayed true to his point by not giving them. Charlo has sent offers to Canelo, GGG, Andre, and Jaime Munguia.
No,
all of them said no.
No,
All
you
of them
should talk
said no.
about Boo Boo Andre. He never got Boo Boo in the fights.
We
he didn't have to
look,
Charlo.
I can only go by what I've heard him say. He said he has tried to get him fights, he couldn't. We all know that Charlo won't fight him because of the past.
No, I'm talking about BJ.
No, let me talk.
Mike,
let me talk without cutting me off.
On Twitter, Mike.
Let me talk without being cut off. That whole situation was messed up over there. But Charlo is over there with nobody to fight. 160 at the zone is an embarrassment because nobody's fighting each other. But also over there, like Bug could be getting flamed, but Charlo, you know what I'm saying? He over there, he ain't fighting nobody either.
Real shit.
You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as that situation with far as the Wilder thing, look, that fight wasn't gonna happen unless AJ couldn't. He had exclusivity with Sky Sports.
That's
so
not true.
That fight was, yes, it is.
Okay. Do you want me to? You want to see another video?
Oh,
No, no, I don't. Because you know why I don't want to. You know why I don't want to see it? Because you're a spin doctor. Because
I'm
you're a
not a
spin
spin doctor.
doctor.
It's Eddie's own words that he spoke to Al Heyman that he confirmed the 50-50. The only thing he said he said that the only way he said that their team got to decide if they want AJ to fight in Vegas, and he said Al Heyman, everything is going fine and back and forth. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't give you my words. I let them speak for you. So when you tell me something and I've already done the homework and already put the videos out there, I don't have to speak for my word.
I got a question for Lisa. Lisa,
you're a spin doctor. I went to school for that. So yes, you are. I went to school for it, and I know what it is.
What did I spin, Lisa? I didn't
spin a lot of stuff in your videos.
I didn't say that. I make it funny, but I don't spin it. I didn't make up the word slave trader or slave contract. I didn't say I'm gonna give him a good crack at the whipping them boys.
No, that's racist.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about other things that you do. Yeah.
What do I spin? It's not my word.
Hey, checkmate is the Michael Moore, like Michael Moore is to the Republicans. That's how checkmate.
I am Mike. Hold on a second. I am Mike Nika. I just want to ask y'all one question real quick. I am Mike Nika. Checkmate. Yep. If all those fighters, I'm talking about Triple G, Billy Joe Saunders, Boo Boo Andrade, and we could go up to 68, Caleb Smith, Canelo Alvarez, Yami Magia, all those guys, right? Out of everyone that I just said, Boo Boo Andrade fought none of them.
Nope.
Canelo fought all of them except Munguia. So all I'm saying is this:
they want
the way and listen, and this man had to admit, and I respected Eddie Hearn's honesty on this, but this is something he shouldn't have did though. He said that it was hard getting fights for Boo Boo Andrade, that no one wanted to fight him. But yet, it was one fight made for him, and that was the situation with BJ Saunders. Then BJ Saunders tested positive for steroids. You know what I'm saying? A few days before the fight. And he admitted that he was having, that he had a tough time and, all the lies that he did. And,
he's a liar.
And look, and Eddie Hearn.
They all
they all liars.
Boo Boo has, they all liars. Boo Boo has all, I don't, like I said, I'm not here to cap for no promoter because that's not my job. Boo Boo Andrade has always had problems getting fights.
No, he turned down the Charlo fight too.
He has always had problems getting fights, even back at 154.
He did turn down that Charlo fight a few days before the fight. Right.
That's what I was going to ask her because I agree with Lisa. Like, Maul need to step up his competition, but I could also see Maul being petty because it wasn't him, but it was Mel that had offered him the fight. And Boo Boo
it was Amanda. It was a vacant title fight, and they were supposed to fight at 54, and it was 3 days before the fight. Boo Andrade was never even training for the fight, and he didn't tell people. They had to a few days.
Whose fault is that?
Boo Boo Andrade.
I think that's Andrade.
Boo Boo Andrade. It ain't nobody but his fault. But once he went to the other promoter, Hearn made it sound like he could get him those fights, and I thought he could too, but he couldn't. And all I'm saying is, when Canelo cursed at Boo Boo, and people got excited because he cursed at him, it was also Eddie Hearn.
He's cursed at him.
No, what I'm saying is,
shit in there, like
right.
Came in there
I got you.
The press conference.
I got you, but listen where I'm going.
You're reaching.
That was the time to make that fight. That was what we all admit that fight should have happened. It is
wait, what fight?
Boo Boo against Canelo.
Okay, but listen, Stephen Espinosa. Listen. Stephen Espinosa said a couple of days ago, like last week, I'm sending it to you now, that they offered Andre the contract recently to fight Big Charlo, and he said no. So that's why I was saying that.
Hey, Big Charlo was mad. Big Charlo was mad.
Yeah, Maul. I'm talking about Maul.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Jamal.
Big Charlo.
Mel, no, Mel was supposed to fight him at 54. Big Charlo, Jamal was supposed to fight him at 160. But Stephen Espinoza said they'd been there, done that they offered Andre the contract, but he turned it down. And this was recent. He said this a couple of days ago. And I'm about to say this.
I don't want to hear about Boo Boo not fighting nobody. He turning down
so
fights.
Who is supposed?
Like, come on. I don't want to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But Boo Boo's supposed to have fights on the zone.
So who we supposed to believe?
I agree, Nika.
I ain't believing Eddie Hearn. I know that.
Listen, the only reason why Eddie signed Andre is just try to lower the Charlos over there, just like he signed Tevin Farmer to try to lower Tank. And now he's basically signed on and sabotaged Andre's career. Andre is begging for the zone top fighter. There's no excuse in the world. You're a promoter. You tell these guys this is what you're going to fight. That's what you normally do. But all of a sudden for Andre, you don't. Yeah, I'm going to say it, Lisa. You don't want the big black guy to go ahead and beat your prized possessions. That's pretty much what it is. When it over there.
I hope.
Guess what? You can't make nobody fight nobody. You can't make nobody fight nobody. And I'm a big Boo Boo Andre fan. But one thing I know is you can't make nobody fight nobody.
Yeah.
Well, GGG. Listen, I have sat and I watched videos. Triple G didn't want to fight him. His trainer suggested that he fight him and tried to encourage him. He didn't want to fight. Because Boo Boo Andre is like high risk, low reward, or you're going to look bad fighting him because of his style.
Well, why would these guys, and Lisa, I agree that that people make those comments, but it's kind of retarded for people to say that, not you, because they say that folks is big risk and low reward, but they fight so many fighters that are low reward all the time.
Yeah,
they
well,
fight
maybe
guys we never heard of. And then they say,
Julius,
and they said Boo Boo not worthy of this fight.
They low reward, but they not big risk.
What was
Boo Boo? Boo Boo
Bibble
is
was
a
a
southpaw. People don't like southpaws,
Right,
and especially he throw them awkward
but
uppercuts
Bibble,
and all that.
Bivol wasn't a big risk. Like it would have been a big reward because Canelo didn't lose any belts fighting him. He would have gained the belt.
But you got beat up, and it did, and your credibility. And I'm just saying,
he didn't lose any belts.
In
like,
boxing, but in boxing though, Nika, but Nika, when you get beat up in your 30s, that could take away from your career. And Boo Boo was a fight that was more winnable. And listen to this, and he would have got more reward winning the Boo Boo fight because Boo Boo and Canelo only fights really in America. So his reward, his fan base is the Mexican American fan base. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo would have gotten real high reward for winning the Boo Boo fight, just like he got because Caleb Plant is no reward. You know what I'm saying?
No, he got credit for that.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, now they make memes of, of Caleb skipping in the ring and asking Canelo, can you be my friend and go to a party with me and stuff. Come on, man.
Julius going throw that in there.
I like Canelo on Showtime. The production of that pay-per-view look way better than that DAZN pay-per-view.
I just think
I want to see Canelo on Showtime.
I feel you. I'm just tired of guys saying that these guys are low reward and high risk and this and that, and then they be fighting all these no-name guys at the same. Just be honest and say like Triple G said, I don't want to fight him, and I'm cool with you.
One of the Nuggets is 500.
The Selecki fight
against Jamal Charlo.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see? Who do you want Jamal to fight?
Somebody.
No, I'm saying
somebody with a pulse.
Who now? They just said that he offered the fight to Boo Boo Andre. So tell me your list. You want him to fight someone at 68, which is Benavidez, Plant.
Are you positive about this?
Well, who at 160 do you want to see Jamal fight?
Listen, I just sent that. Listen,
Boo Boo Andre. So I'm saying, I'm just asking once. Hey, it's a simple question. Who do you want Jamal Charlo to fight at 160? And who do you want to see him fight at 68? And also here, remember Mugia was the mandatory and had agreed at one point to take the fight with Jamal. This was just a month and a half ago. And then he said no. He turned it down. And then he turned down another fight. And now he's fighting I think a white gentleman from England named Jimmy Kelly. Jimmy Kelly, I believe. So that's why I asked, who do you want to see Jamal fight? Because we saw Mugia stop a mandatory. We seen that. And I ain't the biggest Jamal Charlo. No one ever hear me up here talking about him, but I had to speak those facts. Mugia accepted the fight, then turned it down.
I didn't know that.
Mike Julius and Nike. I just sent y'all a Twitter, something I did that shows the tweets that shows that Charlo offered all four of those: Canelo, GGG, Jaime Mugia, and Andre contracts. And Steven Espinoza says on that
not to cut
Andre,
you off. Checkmate, not to cut you off, but I think everybody knows that Canelo had a 3-fight deal with Benavidez for 60 million or 56 million, Earl Spence for 64 million, and Charlo for 58 or 60 million. We all know that. Canelo,
that's why nobody know about.
And Canelo and Eddie Hearn both acknowledged that those fights were out there for that amount. So I
but
know
anybody talking about right. That's them. But that I just put everything in a cohesive manner. I put, if you look at it, I just got the tweets from it about the confirmation about the offers that was made, including that Steven Espinoza said that Andre had recently turned down a Charlo fight. Okay, but even though so, that has nothing to do with the fact that all of those fighters are on the side of the zone, and Andre does not get anything. Like I said, they're trying now. Eddie is trying to make Andre move up to 168. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm sick of people wanting to force Charlo to move up to 168 to fight Benavidez. He's only had 7 fights at 160. Allow this man to maximize his potential. Canelo was at 154 and 55 for 7 years and 15 fights. So people who are trying to age Charlo and Andre out of 160 after only 7 fights, it's ridiculous. And people, I don't get it. So you want, because you want him to lose so bad, you want him to go ahead and fight 6'3" David Benavidez 168 for no belt, which is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. If there was belts on the line, if there was belts on the line,
frozen out, man, this is a joke. AJ was frozen out of the heavyweight major fights. This is a joke.
Hold on, Don King froze out Pernell Whitaker years earlier too. So it ain't just started now. This been going on. He froze out Pernell Whitaker.
I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just saying it just started because you said that Don King was your man, and you saying that they froze out this guy, and it's so terrible. And I've seen it throughout the history of boxing, guys getting froze out. And I hate it. Yeah, so I'm just throwing their names out there. That's all.
Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm throwing them out for shame.
So now you know that the zone controls. So listen. So now you know that the zone controls all of the 168 belts, and all
I've been knew that,
belts,
except for Charlo.
Right. So they locking down 2 divisions, and then all of a sudden, while they locking down 2 divisions, Canelo was planning to go to 75 and then go to cruiserweight and then fight Usyk at heavyweight. So what was they going to do with all these belts? So lock it up, right?
Well, I said earlier I didn't like what's going on with the 160.
It's 160 and 168.
And I don't know what makes them think Canelo could. I don't know what makes them think Canelo could move up all them weight classes and fight Usyk. Usyk would beat him. Come on, that's just unrealistic.
Shit, Bib will beat him. So they happening.
Well, when I saw
Which
that,
I
I
made
was
some
like,
money.
nah, I don't see him beating Usyk. I just don't.
Which I made some money off of Bivol beating him. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought.
Look
Bivol
at
was
that.
gonna
Look
fuck
at that.
Bivol up.
And the realistic thing. No, Bud was frozen out by the PBC, and if nobody don't see that, I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely, we know that.
To the guy in the
He's only had five fights. How can he even been frozen out? His first fight at 147 was Jeff Horn, right? So then that's 4 fights left. Then his next fight was Andre, not Andre. It was David Benavidez's brother. It was David Benavidez's brother, right? No, one second.
Yeah,
It was David Benavidez's brother, who was Jose Benavidez is a PBC fighter. Okay, so y'all say he froze the up, but Jose Benavidez is a PBC fighter. So Crawford actually fought him in his second fight at 147.
At that time, he was a top-ranked fighter.
Okay. In the third fight, he fought
John Molina.
Okay.
What?
And then Green Machine. How you pronounce his name?
The Green Machine.
John Molina was at 140.
Right, but that was a PBC fight.
I'm talking about the
That was a
PBC.
My fault, checkmate. I was just saying PBC fighter. He fought Felix Diaz too.
Okay. Let me nail this. So now we know that you saying he was frozen out, but his second and his fourth fight,
he was.
His second and his fifth fight were PBC fighters. So how is he frozen up at PBC? By fighting Benavidez.
Come on,
Benavidez,
you
and
know
Sean
what I'm
Porter.
talking about.
No,
Stop all that double. Don't tell me what I said. I know what I said. First of all, stop over talking me. First of all, stop over talking me. No, I'm gonna make my statement.
Okay, but
he's
five
still
fighters
being frozen out because he's being aged out.
That's it.
He's being aged out and frozen out. And if nobody want to see that.
He about to get $20 million. No, hold on, checkmate. Hold on. He about to get $20 million. He ain't thinking about being frozen out no more. He about to get paid. And he feels like he can win.
Espinosa told you that?
No, Bud been saying that.
Okay.
Bud been saying that. Didn't you see his interview with Sean Porter?
Yeah, but I didn't hear him say nothing about $20 million.
No. I'm saying that. I'm saying he gonna get $20 million. I'm saying that. I know this. He got what, 12 or 13 against Sean Porter, and this is for undisputed. So you do have what you think?
He got a $6 million against.
No,
Sean
I'm talking
Porter.
about after all the money came in. Bud Crawford said, unless he was lying. Now I'm lying behind Bud. Because Bud said
I've never known Bud. Okay, I've never known Bud to talk about numbers.
Yeah, he talk about numbers.
Listen, guys.
Hold on a second, Mike. Hold on a second, Mike Nice. Hold on 1 second, Mike Nice. We also know that Bud talk about numbers because he said, I'm only taking this fight for 50-50 or 60-40. Now, so he definitely talked numbers. Bud Crawford talked numbers. And as far as icing people out, people have been iced out throughout the history of time and still is. All of them do it. And they do it for business reasons. I'm just being honest. I don't have a problem with a guy being iced out, but at the same time, if someone say, well, why they didn't fight, we gotta say, look, it happened because of this or that. That's fine. But they all got iced out. I just told you when Don King did it, Top Rank done it. They're both doing it now. Look, if you look at the division, who getting the fights at 175? Top Rank got it locked down at 175. They ain't letting nobody in. So we just said where they all did it. At 140, Josh Taylor had them all locked up.
We know this already. You're not telling me nothing I don't know.
Okay, well, you know, but when somebody say it though, good sister. But when somebody say it though, good sister.
But I'm not trying to be tit. I'm not trying to be tit for tat. I'm staying on the topic at hand.
But that's what I was doing, sister.
Hey, Mr. West.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up now because it's almost midnight and we did over 3 hours today. Woo!
One question.
Well, can we go out with a video so I can go ahead and check Lisa one last time?
Checkmate, you know you was right, bro.
You was right. She don't believe Eddie Hearn acknowledged that he spoke to Al Heyman about the 50-50. Just play that. It's only 2 minutes. That's it, baby girl.
So you think I care about that?
I don't like to be called a liar.
I already know about that video. I never called you a liar. I said what I said was AJ was he had an exclusivity deal with Sky.
But
that's
the
what I
exclusivity deal with
said.
Sky had nothing to do with them not accepting the fight.
Right.
Okay. That had
Because
nothing
so did
to do
Tyson
with it.
Fury.
It would have to be. It would have to be in the UK, is what I was saying.
No, Eddie was talking. No, that's not what the video says. If you listen to the video, then you will get the answer. You won't get my
I think I could
opinion.
do another video.
Like one last.
Listen,
girl.
I want
her to show her.
Listen,
the truth,
it's
okay?
nothing that you could tell me about this story that I really don't know.
I don't want to tell you. Let Eddie tell you.
And I really don't even care.
I'm gonna play this video and
Okay, and I really don't even care at this point.
No, sister, you gotta hear it now.
I've heard all of these videos already before.
But apparently you didn't, because you say he.
Yes, I did. I don't have, dude. I don't have to agree with you. What you say is not gospel to me.
Exactly, and I agree with you 100%. That's why I let Eddie tell you.
Yo,
I'll take 50 million. You're going to make us an offer with an upside. Do yourself a favour, don't bother making the offer unless it's a guarantee. And if there's $100 million in the fight, no problem, we'll sign tomorrow. Give us $60 million, you got the fight. Okay, I'll take 50 million up front. If that's the case, Wilder's team, bring me 50 million up front and we'll take the fight.
I just sent them what they wanted.
What did they want?
They said they wanted 50 mil, so I gave it to them. So soon we'll see the fight.
What's going on? The communication channels are open and they're two-way. So I went back to Al Heyman and asked them 6 or 7 questions, of which they gave us the answers. It's really a case of, does Anthony want to take this fight in Las Vegas?
That's what it's always been about, isn't it?
It has, but now there is more money for him based on the offer to do this fight in the US.
He got offered 50 mil the other day and he never took it.
Obviously, their offer is based on the US fight, and they've provided answers to the questions that I've asked.
Barry, what about that one? I mean, pay-per-view is criticised by a lot of people. These fights deserve pay-per-view, and these fights deserve pay-per-view income.
To elaborate, all the money's in America. At the moment, there is considerably more money to fight in America than there is in the UK. There's a lot more money to fight in America. Therefore, every fighter wants to fight in America.
Joshua called him a lanky piece of shit.
Because he keeps avoiding people. They don't want to. Listen, he's still winning 50 million to fight Wilder. Wilder giving 50 million. Why didn't he fight him?
Look at Deontay Wilder.
He offered Joshua 50 million. Joshua didn't take it.
He sent an email personally.
Listen, I've been out in America, and I know from real source that I've seen that the money was there.
I'm asking questions. I'm getting right.
Checkmate.
Okay. If you got any questions about anything topic I talk about, I got a video for it. Not in my own opinion, but in the person that you're referring to.
Guess what?
Okay.
AJ he had exclusivity with Sky Sports.
Did you say anything about Sky
and that
Sports?
money was coming from BT Sports.
Oh, that's the same propaganda talking
because
point.
Fish Eyes talked about it, but
did y'all
you
hear
know,
that sound? Because I couldn't hear it in mine. The sound was playing.
The what?
Y'all didn't hear the sound?
Hear it now.
Oh no, I heard everything.
On the video when I played the video.
I heard the video.
Oh, okay.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, unfortunately the fight didn't get made for a lot of different reasons, a lot of politics. And that's what I said, and I still stand by I'm staying on my stance. some of these big fights have not been made due to politics.
I agree. Them race soldiers out there in England, man, they need to stop it.
All right. So
What about the race soldiers here in America?
Hey, oh man, we got the biggest.
See-
we got the biggest ones here. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm just talking about them ones that do them slave trade and that like slave.
What about them
contracts.
slave deals over there, the PBC?
The producer want to wrap up.
Listen,
Y'all. Come on,
you
last
just
one.
heard
360
you just
deals.
heard the white guys say that though.
Oh,
Why you gonna
Yeah.
say something about a promoter you never heard talk? You never heard him talk.
Because
You heard
keep
white
bringing
guys say
what you doing
slave
is what
and
you doing is
slavery.
bringing race. I
No,
heard
no,
it,
no, no.
but you're
They
blaming
brought
no.
slave. They brought race into it. They said
You-
slaves.
all right,
Yes,
because
they
you know what?
did.
I'm gonna wrap this
Contract.
up because we could keep going about the
Yeah.
race thing.
Jesus
for the rest of the
Christ.
night. Yeah.
Lisa.
I can't.
I
I
can't do
can't
it.
talk
That race thing.
boxing
That race
with
thing
you
is
because
just.
like
Lisa.
everything is about
So,
racial.
but I want
But
to thank
they
everybody.
said it, Lisa.
Julius.
Yeah, he
Okay, I'm
did,
just
and I
messing,
disagree
Nike.
with
I'm
everything
just
he
messing,
said.
Nike.
I
I'm
want
joking.
to thank
Go ahead,
everybody for
Nike.
coming on and like definitely
I'm a
giving
mature
great,
woman, so
great.
I don't.
No, I want
So
to
when
thank
you come
everybody
at
for.
me, come with facts, brother.
He
All right.
just did it,
I
Lisa.
came with facts.
Played him now.
All right,
She
everybody,
called me a
everybody,
semi-stud.
let me wrap this up. I want to
You
thank
are.
every one of you guys coming up on tonight to discuss boxing and everything that had to do with the topics that we discussed. Y'all gave me a good almost 4 hours, y'all. And if I let y'all keep going. I know some of
You,
y'all
you should be getting monetized soon, right? That good? You
Huh?
should be close. You should be getting monetized
I
soon,
hope
right?
so. Yeah, because this getting these hours and ain't no joke. Lord.
Facts are West. Facts.
So we
So
get
I
we getting
appreciate
a we getting a
everybody in
pre-show.
the
We getting a pre-show live from Brooklyn. Take verse
I'll be in New York on Thursday because I have to go for a dermatology appointment, but I don't know if I'm gonna stay for the fight or not. I don't know.
Gotta go
but
to the fight.
okay.
Gotta go to the
I
fight.
don't know.
I'm
What
flying.
fight? Which
We
one?
shall see. We shall see.
Which
Tank
fight?
and Rolly. The
I'm
Tank
flying
and
in
Rolly
Thursday
fight.
too. So
Oh yeah.
I'm
But if
looking
I
forward
don't
to it.
stay, I definitely still will do
It's probably
the show on
sold out
Friday.
already.
You think so?
I know
The bar
I know
thing?
Rolly trash, but I'm
Nah,
so
some
excited
tickets
for
left.
this entertainment show.
Hey, look, Nike, if you go to the fight, you better be careful now, because I don't want you to get struck by that whip. Because I heard that Eddie and Barry gonna make an appearance up there.
Oh God.
I want to thank everybody in the chat too for chiming in and tuning in as well. I'll probably do go live later on this week. It should be I should be doing Women Crushing It Wednesdays with Christine. She should be coming back from Turkey, so we'll see. So you guys have a great night.
Okay, Lisa, if you need any facts, hit me up. Mike, if you need any facts
I
about
don't need-
anything,
I don't
hit me
need
up, my
facts from
brother.
you. I have my own. I have my own facts. I can read and I know how to. I know about deductive reasoning and critical thinking. I don't need you for that.
Look,
I don't care about that. I just care
I
about you
definitely
hearing
don't
the facts
need.
from the horse's mouth.
Listen, y'all. I know the politics of boxing be fucked up sometimes, but we getting some good fights. In November, the big fish is gonna take over. Man down. You already know.
Have a good
That's what I'm
night.
talking about.
Have a good
He gonna
night.
get his ass.
Look at it.
He gonna get his ass whooped by Bud Crawford.
Salute.
Good night, y'all.
Salute. Barry and Eddie Hearn.
Ain't no big fish about him. Ain't no big fish about him.
Strike that whip.
Y'all have a wonderful evening.
You too. Bye bye.
Good night.
All right, take
Thanks
care.
again.
Thanks for having me.